What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe? Welcome back. We are here. We are loud and proud, baby. We've got this, ooh. That sounded a little bit like a firework then. That was amazing. We are back for the very first Tribe Talks of 2025. Hope everybody's had a nice weekend. How was it, everybody? Death's Helm, Gilvanis, Lord Panther, Lord Megatron, Daquan, Robbie, all wonderful people in the chat today. How are we? How are we? Death's Helm, you're not new here. Don't lie to the tribe like that. First Tribe Talks of the new season. Hell yes, NFL still has me occupied for a few weeks. Well, I'm glad it does. Everybody needs a little bit of nice distraction, you know what I mean? Something that they enjoy getting their teeth stuck into. Maybe the NFL is that for you. And I hope it is, Robbie. You've got tomorrow off, Death's Helm. That's good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Daquan. Mr. Underhill. Baggins. How are you all off tomorrow? Is it a bank holiday in the States or something? What's going on with that? I'm just jealous, let's be honest. How's Dry January going? Snap on anyone yet? I always do that when I try the crap. Yeah, no, it's going okay. It's going okay. We're still drinking, but it's Guinness 0, so... So, yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, there's been a couple of days where I'm just like, oh, I could really just, you know, could just have a nice cold beer right about now. That would take the edge off the day. And instead, I dig deep, find that willpower within me and drink alcohol-free beer instead. And that's how we roll, baby. That's how we roll. I'm pretty stubborn. Pretty stubborn when I want to be. Let's just get my compatriots in, shall we?
Oh, God, there's a call.
Oh, my God.
How did that happen? Who put that there?
What's this button do? Hi, gents. How you doing?
How's it going?
It's flowing. It's flowing.
You know, I had a buddy in college. That was like his catchphrase. It was like, who put that there?
Sounds good.
Let me always move his... People would always like come in. So I lived in a fraternity house in college, and it was a little more of communal areas. So people would come in and like move shit all the time. And like, oh, this backpack was over here, and this book gets moved over here. It's like, who put that there? And so we ended up saying that all the fucking time.
I like it. I like it a lot. How have you been, Wolfie? You been good?
How we doing? We chilling? You know?
Yeah.
Can't complain.
The only way we know how.
As it were.
As it were, indeed. And we also do have Carthrick over here as well, but he's being a little bit deaf and mute at the moment. Scarlet Fury, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Oh no, wait a minute. Hold up. That's Essex gifting her the tub. Tub? Oh my God, I can speak. I swear to God. I swear to God, I know the words and thing. Essex, very kind of you, good sir. Gifting a sub over to Scarlet Fury, who is in fact an admin now in my Discord server, and she's been doing wonderful, wonderful work, making it slightly less shit. Well, a lot less shit, but she had her work cut out for her. And she's doing a fantastic job.
Scribe's like, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Man, no one understands what's coming out your mouth.
That's him? That's a midget in a bathrobe. Go on, we're going to have a conversation with him right now. I love Rush Hour. Oh, my God.
And I haven't seen Rush Hour in so fucking long.
Oh, great series.
But absolute classic. Classic.
Yeah. Like, that used to be comfort watching for me. Absolute comfort watching for me. The first two, I didn't mind the third one, but it felt like the shine was off the apple by that point. So,
Yeah, I mean, by the third and most of a series, it's sort of lost that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And there was a big break, I think, between Rush Hour 2 and Rush Hour 3. I think there was, like, several years between
I don't
those
recall.
two. Yeah.
You're probably right, but I don't recall.
It might have been like 3 years, and I just felt like at the time it was a very long time. But I feel like it was more like 10 years. What's the difference? Absolutely none, burrito. Just looks fancy. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I did notice that the scribe dragon symbol had changed a little bit. I was going to ask about that.
Yes.
I was like, what's going on over there? It's like a little fancier.
It's
a little
it
done
got a
up.
bit of a glow up.
It's got some depth to it, as it
That
were.
it does. Yeah.
I like it.
Bane, did we beat you in Territory Wars? Suck it, nerd. Yeah, it was good fun. I thought I was in the wrong server. Well, you might still be in the wrong server, Sol, to be fair. But at least now it's more of a homely place.
You could be in the wrong server. This is altogether possible. We can't guarantee you're not in the wrong server.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly. Yeah. It's happened. It's known to have happened. Hoping profundity of Mark 6 counter to P1 works at the low level. We'll be trying it in the coming days. Well, best of luck to you, Droga. I do recommend, like, general default, people, if you're trying to counter the Leviathan, you want to be reverting to endurance / negotiator, depending on the lineup first.
Hello.
Hello, Karth. You have a voice.
Going to murder everything. How's that sound?
Everything or everyone?
And why?
I'm not
are you
sure how
trying
you
to
murder things.
Everything? Who hurt you, Karth, and why?
See unfortunately my webcam is now my mic, which is trash. But now my headset won't pick up any audio. So now I can be heard, but I cannot hear.
Oh, good. Karth is a big old dingus, and he's got a small penis. Wow, I can get away with so much now. I can turn that off now as well. Woohoo! Alrighty. Alright. So let's go back over here and let's just see. Like, I made the mistake of asking people questions. I was like, hey guys, do you have any questions for Tribe Talks tonight? And then like 30,000 people were like, yeah, I got a question.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god.
What have we done?
What have we done? Who the hell do I send wiener pics to? Apps? Well, I mean, I think we could create a subsection of the Discord server, which is just pictures of hot dogs. You could send it there.
You don't have a food picture section?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
Huh.
No. I don't think it
Surprising.
belongs in the NSFW section, or Degenerates Corner. That's big dingus, small pingus. Those are the rules, Cobra. Those are the rules. Thanks for the well wishes from Wednesday night. There were well wishes on Wednesday night. Ooh. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. You asked a question for the first time. You did, Essex. You did ask. I can't remember what it was, but you asked a question. I think it was about the Jawa bundle deals. I think.
I heard.
Uh-huh.
Can people hear me now?
Yes.
It's not about the same, but yes.
All right. Whatever. It'll have to do. This stupid thing is being something between Windows 11 and Discord is not working on my computer, and it doesn't like the fact that the box I use that converses to a USB-C connection with my computer is the same input and output, and so Discord just chooses at random with no real logic as to which one will function.
I see. So it just picks random mic. It's like, yep.
Either my Rode box will either be my output for my audio, where I can hear it in the headphones, or it will be my mic, but it will not be both.
Oh.
And I fixed it like
not useful.
I fixed it like 2 days ago, and was fine. And then when I went and joined, when I joined Ranger on Saturday for Jedi Academy, the Zoom call went to hell because I couldn't make it work. And then since then, it's gone back to being a pain in the butt. I thought I had it fixed. And so anyways, here we are struggling so much for so unknown reasons why.
Yep.
Well, that's
I love
less than ideal.
Technology is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it
Mhm.
works sort of, it's kind of like a cat with cat's affection. You know, they can give you affection. They really can if they want to. But it is very much on their terms. That's
Yes.
how computers work sometimes. They're like, oh, you want to use your microphone? Sure. I won't tell you which one. I won't tell you why or when. It's just kind of, you take it or leave it, buddy. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a Wolfie up here. Hello, Wolfie. Nice mic you got there, buddy.
Well, thank you. Right back at you.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur's gonna be a few minutes on camera because he is currently stuffing his face with lots of steak.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. We don't judge. Let me just try and get Karth up here as well. It'll be this one.
Whoa.
Inappropriate, much.
Whoa.
Reach around in progress.
There she blows. There we go. That's Karth's face. He looks pretty.
I do. Thank you.
Oh no! Well, no. I don't like it. There's a. There's a
He doesn't
thing.
like it like that.
I'll at least tell it to turn on my camera so it just becomes a giant blank space.
Yes. I mean, that's not useful, to be honest, but because I was
Not
trying to
even
position you,
slightly.
but it's absolutely fine. I'll just have to finagle around and fix you later, Karth, okay? Oh, there's Karth. Okay, hold on.
Here.
Now I'll fix you.
You can center it now, and then I'll put the cover back.
Thank you.
He does love a good finagling.
I do.
I
Like, who
do.
doesn't like a good finagling on a Sunday
I haven't
evening?
even turned my lights on. I realized how dark it is in here.
Do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Busy eating.
Do-do-do-do. All right, so there's a Karth's face. I guarantee halfway through this tribe talks, Karth will he'll move. What the fuck? That doesn't look right. He'll move, and sit slightly differently. So he will instead be in a different position, and then he will not be in the center of the screen. And I'll just be like, all right, fuck it. you're just gonna live off center.
You just need to keep my face relatively centered when you place the camera, and then from there, I'll just move from
Zoom
side
way
to
the
side.
fuck out.
Now
Just
we
gotta
have
zoom way the fuck out.
dual Karths. Why do we
Oh.
have dual Karths now?
Because two's better than one.
Two Karths is better than one in the bush, they say.
Because we have 2 credit cards.
Okay, hold up. That nearly works. Technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, cool. Thank you, Karth. Appreciate you. Just don't turn the camera off.
If I turn the camera off, I gotta go put on pants.
I mean, putting on pants is optional for this show, to be fair. Hello, chat. Sorry
It
about
is.
that. Yeah. Hi, guys. It's been a trip. Welcome back to Tribe
Yeah.
Talks, ladies and gentlemen. The first one of the year. We haven't done this in like a month.
Crazy.
That's a long-ass time.
It is. It's been minutes.
Hey,
It has.
listen. We took CG's holiday to heart.
You know,
Took the same time frame off. That's all I'm saying.
that's true. I mean, you're not wrong, because in that time, we have had one new character, and that's it. That's our content. Technically, we've got the new episode track, but that's not really content. And that only dropped this week, so really, we're just going beat for beat with our good friends at CG. And I think that's okay. I think for the wonderful listeners that... Oh, sorry, Wolfie, go ahead.
No, see, what else? I feel like there's some news since the last time, because since the last time we actually chatted was before we had actually had any playtesting of Ahsoka.
Is that right? Did we not talk about Ahsoka
True.
playtesting?
No, we
been a
talked
while.
about Ahsoka.
No, we talked about it, but she hadn't released when we
Yeah,
were
it was-
on our last
it was-
Trap Talks.
right before her release.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, GL Ahsoka, she's okay. That's
She's alright.
I mean, that's I'm still disgruntled. She's buggy still, Ezra's backup plan doesn't work at all. It's kind of a big deal when you have an Omicron that, half of the power is, hey, give everybody backup plan for 2 turns when he uses this. And that just doesn't do anything, so
Yeah.
yeah, it just looks pretty, and that's kind of annoying, especially when you face off against Leia teams and Drogon just one-shots your character. It'll be like, oh, actually, they just revived, but no, they don't. No, they don't. Hurts me to my soul, to my very core. Not that Ezra really needs much buffing. He's the true... Well, he's not... Is he the true star of the show? He's a true star of the show.
I mean, in GHC, he is the star of the show, without a doubt, because of how her mechanics work.
Mm-hmm.
He, like, honest to God, if you don't have a way to deal with, like, stunning him, that can't be, like, resisted or avoided, he once she ults, you have, like, a 50% chance to hit him ever, and it only gets worse as the match goes on.
It depends on the relic investment, right? But pretty much, yeah.
Fair, but
pretty much.
Pretty close.
Because everybody Cart faces probably has Relic 9 Ezra. I have Relic 9 Ezra, and I face a lot of people with Relic 9 Ezra as well, and it is really annoying. It's really frustrating when, like, in threes, and you go up against the Rey Ezra team, for example, and you kill everybody else, and then Ezra will solo the rest of your team. You're like, fuck Ezra, you fucking piece of shit, just die.
Dude's a monster. Like, absolutely insane. You're sitting there like, this should not be okay. Like, how is he, like, this strong outside of, like, his actual GL? Dude, it's not cool.
He's just got, like...
Yeah, it's not cool.
High levels of damage output, high levels of survivability, and, you can't touch me most of the time. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't assist against him.
Yeah,
which is really rough.
Yeah.
So it really slows down JML's ability to do anything against him. And then on top of that, the heal. The heal is huge.
It's massive heals. 60% health and
50% of each, and it's just like,
yeah.
And then the bonus turn on top of that, and then the other effects they gain depending on the role that they are and the tag that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh my god, stop! Like I've so many times had Ezra yellow. I'm like, all right, next turn he dies. He's just like, heal, bonus turn to Rey, lightsaber. I'm like, oh, cool. Bye bye, I died.
Heal, bonus turn to Rey, triple hit you for heal immunity and massive damage. I've got foresight now. You're like, fuck, Ezra, stop it. Stop doing things. Yeah, we need a new debuff to lock that fucker down, because he's a menace. He is the Spider-Man of SWGoH right now. He's just something else, man. Something else. But yeah, GL Ahsoka Tano, she does sit there, and she does tank a lot of damage, and she does raise their mastery a lot. That's kind of what she does, and occasionally puts out
the rest of the team. Man, the rest of the team, they're top-notch characters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She really makes them shine. She's just not like. Yeah, it's not that she's bad. She isn't at all. She's incredibly chunky, but she herself doesn't bring the pain. She doesn't feel like she's the threat. You know?
Well, because they didn't give her a lock taunt, so it's like it's so easy to get around her.
Yeah.
With most of the GLs, because like she can only taunt like every 2 turns, and she doesn't really have a good way to cycle back the taunt to get it faster. And there's not very many people that force her to taunt on the team. So it's just like there's not a lot going on there that makes her really hard to get around.
You can't hide in the chat. Everybody say hi to Meathead. He's saying hi and bye, but we know his favorite day of the week is Sunday, where he gets to listen to Tribe Talks. It's his favorite thing.
Hi, Meathead.
I like how it's bleeping out his name.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good times. It's good times.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
Also,
Sock, for the 50 DMs. Check my DMs? Huh? What?
Yes.
All
right.
I'll
But yeah, so Ahsoka does things. Yeah, I'm like leaning back in my chair right now. Ahsoka does things. You know, she definitely has counters. Now, I will say, like in TW, if you have the Omicrons, you know, both of the Omicrons especially on what do you call it? On Padawan Sabine and on Ahsoka over there, the team can be just an absolute, or Hera, sorry, and on Hera, team can be absolutely freaking nutty, like just truly next level nutty over there. All right, we got to refigure the camera situation a little bit.
Unfortunately, if I zoom you out, it just cuts off the top, and if I zoom you in, it's too close to your face.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's to do with the drop shadow.
Okay.
On there, because it's tied to a full screen look, and obviously
Okay.
if I make you smaller,
Gotcha.
it just cuts off. So it just looks a little bit weird.
All right.
Hang on, can I?
See what we can do.
Zoom your own camera out. Waha!
If I just
I
get
don't
rid
have
of
it.
it,
Maybe
Better
I'm zoomed in. I don't
look-
think I'm zoomed in.
I have no
looks
idea,
a
I'm
bit
just-
different,
That's only my only other choice.
Yeah, fair enough.
that's all. I see a silhouette of a man, Scaramouche. I'll just get rid of the borders. It looks a little bit less weird then. Excuse me.
Truly, why don't you give that a go?
When
Okay,
has CG
anyways.
done ramping damage design well? Slacker.
Hmm.
I mean, in fairness, that's Ray and Slacker are kind of like actually done well,
Mhm.
and everybody else is like they only get a one-time burst. So it's like Slacker and Ray they
Ah.
ramp much slower, where it's like Ray or everyone else that gets
Yeah.
they just get a massive burst of mastery at once,
Mhm.
and then it just goes from like tickle me Elmo to like, you know, Elmo's on a
Okay, you
murder
can zoom
spree.
in again.
Sorry, what?
You can fix it, Scribe. I zoomed my camera out a little bit. You can fix
Oh,
it now.
let's-
We should be good.
Let's try this. Let's see. If I go up here and over here.
But Norquist, so that one, this question has come up before, and there's apparently some disagreement as to whether or not it's working properly. Foresight isn't being cleared; the entire ability is being dodged. You're not dispelling the foresight. The foresight is evading the attack. You're proccing the foresight. It's not being dispelled. It's being activated, as it were. So it's
Are we talking about Bane here?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
on his
this
first
comes up a
special.
lot with Bane's first special going and dispelling everything. But again, if the ability said, this ability can't be evaded, then yes, it would dispel everything. Absolutely. But if it doesn't say that, so unfortunately, or if
Yeah.
it said,
Well,
this dispels foresight too, but yeah.
Well, also the other way that reads too is you look at characters like Snips, and her basic states that it dispels first, then
Yeah.
deals damage, and so some of those triggers.
No, his is
so
different.
Snips,
Yeah.
yeah, it specifically can't be evaded if the target has foresight.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
His-
it's a
I
specific
think-
fuck you to foresight.
I think hers is the only one that can get around foresight in that particular way. There are other people that I
Yeah.
think dispel before they deal damage, but hers
Doesn't
specifically.
Doesn't
Yes.
Dash dispel foresight? His
no,
AoE?
no, I think it just can't be missed. It can't be evaded. It can't
Okay,
be
I couldn't,
evaded or resisted. But
okay.
hers specifically says if they have foresight, so I'm pretty sure they can naturally
Yeah.
evade it, but they can't evade it with foresight.
Oh yeah, If they don't have foresight, her ability misses all the time. If they have foresight, it can't. It's insane.
Yeah,
It's like
it makes
fucking
total sense.
JMK.
It's like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
blinded, miss, but they've got foresight. I'll get you anyway.
Yeah.
Weird.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's come up a lot.
It's frustrating though because when you first
It
read
is.
it, you don't think about it. You're like, oh, it dispels all buffs twice. Ah, fuck foresight
Yeah.
then. But it just goes, oh no, I'll just miss. I'll just miss.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
The entire
Oh, yeah.
ability is getting evaded.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right.
kind
Big
of annoying,
Big sag.
but as it were.
It's weird because it's like things like Echo's dispel will get rid of foresight and then still land.
Well, I mean, Norquist, based on the way it's written, just like literally how it's written. Again, the word dispel is the problem. It's not being dispelled. You're not dispelling foresight. The foresight is being procced. You're activating the foresight. At no point is the foresight being dispelled by Bane. He's just missing because of the foresight. The foresight did its job. So it's if you're trying to hinge on dispelling, that's not actually the mechanic that's happening. So like there's no actual dispel going on there. So that's not what foresight is. So anyways.
Yeah.
What was he talking about? You
Uh,
got distracted there.
well,
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Yes, her team
oh,
is
yes.
great. And she oh yeah, in TW. In TW, she's a freaking monster. If you don't have like the actual teams to take her out, we have had TWs where we get like 30 holds on Ahsoka.
Oh, nice.
Because people are just like, we don't have anything to clear it.
I rock
kind of nutty.
I rock the double Omicron team for TW on that. I don't think I've actually fought one though offensively. Like,
Oh, it's not fun.
yeah, I bet it's not fun. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a lot. That's a lot going on there. Like, you know, Padawan Sabine casually just doubling up the stats and stuff is enough in itself. I feel.
It's kind of nutty.
Or the 300% offense for the when they lose Exile.
Yeah,
That,
child's play.
that causes quite a bit of heartache.
Yeah, and we know how quickly they lose Exile under Glat. I had some I had some people in various comment sections of various videos actually have knee-jerk reactions to me calling her Glat, and they're like, just call her Ahsoka. I'm like, well, like all the other Ahsokas that we've got in the game. So we
Well, in fairness, they all have new titles. She is the only Ahsoka Tano in the game.
That's not the point.
Everyone else has the
She's
parentheses.
also the only GL, and then there's the only Fulcrum, and then there's the only Commander Ahsoka. It's like, what if we can call Cat and Fulcrum and Snips? We can still call Glat. Like,
I know.
you
but
don't call Slacker Kylo Ren. Like, come on.
I try to not use her acronym, but it just becomes the easiest way to say it. Yeah, I don't care for that acronym, but it's just when you're typing things out, it's better to be like It's like, do I go with the 4-letter word or do I just spell it out?
We'll go with the 5-letter word.
Because sometimes you say like Ahsoka, and then people would be like, "Oh, do you mean GL Ahsoka?" Just to clarify, and you're like, "This is just more work than fucking before." Let me just type Glad.
That's right. So when people say Potato Head Ray, instead of just telling me which Ray,
one,
it's like why? Why would we do this?
All potato heads. The fact.
Yeah, they did update Ray to all have the same head. So
yeah.
Like, there's no way around this now. They all look like either they all are potato heads or none of them are potato heads.
I mean, we can always safely discount Stick Ray because, like, nobody uses Stick Ray for anything, right?
I mean, I think you're 100% right, but still,
well, she gets used as like an alternate if you're like, if I have no UFUs, I generally have enough UFUs. Like, if somebody has no UFUs for a Star Killer team or for like a Seer team or something like that, you're like, I just need some more UFUs, damn it. Fine, I'll use Stick Ray. That's fine. Yeah. But, yeah, overall. Glat's not the worst one. I sort of bounce back and forth a little bit between Ahsoka and Glat, just personally. I think I try to lean towards more just saying Ahsoka because the Glat's kind of fucking annoying. But, you know, it's just the way of things. You know, when the community all agrees on an acronym, you sort of got to just go along with it.
Hey, I'm just happy that Glow never took off. Okay, that's all I care about.
Oh my god!
That one annoyed me to no end.
I think it was it was Gigabachi or Gigaquake always used to call what's his face Glow. Who did he used to call it? Fuck, who was it? What? It was before Leia. I think it was like
it was JMK.
Yeah, JMK.
Galactic Legend Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was it.
They were trying to go with. Yeah,
he was calling him Glow. And that used to get my back up. I don't know why. I don't know why.
It wasn't even close to the name though. That's the problem. Like, at least it's Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, but it's like his name is Jedi Master Kenobi. So it's like, why would we choose a different acronym?
Yeah, see, Ryrock, that's the other one that it just irritates me. GLK, Galactic Legend Kenobi. I've seen people call JML GML. And I'm like, that's not even fucking... What is that? Grandmaster Luke? He's not a Grandmaster. Like, the fuck?
I mean... Yeah.
There is no Jedi Order. I suppose he could promote himself all the way to the top. Yeah, I'm the Grandmaster of the Jedi Order. Grandmaster of one,
Jedi
baby.
Order. Ooh, baby.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So, yeah, it's fun to have these deep and meaningful conversations about Galaxy of Heroes. The real important issues is what are the acronyms that piss you off the most? Answers on a postcard, please. So is anybody here? Everybody here has got Glat, right? I mean, Karth, I don't think you've got GL Ahsoka, have you? No.
No, I don't have
twice.
I have two. I have two. I don't have one though.
Yeah. So is anybody disappointed out of the three of us in her performance?
I
wish I would get more some fucking holds. Sorry, go on, Karth.
Oh, I was initially when with the previous Datacron set where Leia was just getting like couldn't make a dent versus Leia, and now it's like it's a lot more risky than you at least when you're not looking at Omicrons involved. It's a more consistent fight. It's more even keel. It's not just like you'll never kill Ahsoka or not Ahsoka, but you'll never kill Leia because she'll revive and da 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 da. So. And on initial, I was upset with it, but now it's just like she's really good. She's really powerful. A lot of guilds are relying on 2 taps to deal with her. You're having to sacrifice good teams twice to deal with them most of the time if you don't have very specific counters or a lot of roster depth in your TWs. And I'm even like concerned when they actually fix her in GAC. I don't know if Leia's going to be the play anymore because that's going to be
if that revive
a
works,
challenge. Well, if the revive works, the challenge is going to be putting things down permanently, which it's like I think that problem will automatically kind of iron itself out because we'll probably have Darkseid Ray before by the time they fix it. So then at that point, it's not going to really matter. But
I mean, we're getting her in 2 weeks' time, right?
Yeah, we'll have her in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
and the conquest.
It'll be the off week and the first week of 5v5. And the first week of 5v5, they might fix it by then. I don't know. They have only one bug for Ezra on the Trello board right now, which has nothing to do with his backup plan not working.
What's the bug they've got there for him?
It's his second special only applying stun the first time.
Is it really? I can't say I've noticed, but it's not something I'm really paying attention to. Because I don't use her offense very much.
His second special is it's like healing me, offense damage can't be resisted. Yeah, so if he scores if he scores 3 critical hits on the second special, it's supposed to stun the target for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted, and it's only working the first time the character he uses the ability. It won't trigger again.
Oh my god,
that's
a pretty big one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only bug they've got on the Trello board for him right now. And I'm like, okay, but backup plan doesn't work. His percent health increase, it does not consistently apply for some reason. Some matches it will trigger, other matches it won't.
Missing 100% health is a big deal.
Yeah, well, it's hard to figure out if counters work if things aren't consistent.
Yeah,
but that one's a harder one to trigger. There are issues with Ahsoka Tano triggering something in the kit interactions is triggering the no buttons bug fairly consistently, which I find that to be hilarious.
Everybody loves that bug. I think it's CG's favorite bug. That one is.
It's our favorite bug.
Yeah, they like to sprinkle that one in.
Oh yeah.
Hugh Yang's
they got so many versions of it.
Yeah, Hugh Yang's first special does not deal damage for every ally that's exiled at the start of the battle. So I only see him deal damage twice.
I still maintain that might not be bugged and that could just be written as intended. Like the unique triggers before the leadership, there's only one ally that starts exiled, and that's Ezra. Even under Glat, her leadership.
Well, yeah, but then
it's so.
But the thing is, though, is that it's not a unique; it's a special. It's an ability. So it's just it says you deal additional instance of damage. Yeah, but you deal additional instance of damage for each other light side droid ally or ally with exile at the start of battle.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that check comes in at the start of battle before leadership triggers.
It's probably checking at the wrong time. The only one that starts the battle with it is Ezra.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be triggering 4 times.
To be honest, they could have removed all the confusion by not making any reference to exile characters and just said, it'll do an extra instance of damage if Ezra's in the team, and then if it's light side droids, it'll do 1 for each light side droid. Because that would, at least if that was their intention, was to have it only trigger 1 additional time under a GL Ahsoka team, and then 4 additional times under a light side droid team. but we don't know because we don't have the context.
Oh yeah, there's also
Yeah.
the other weird bug I guess it's dependent on how you look at it, but it'll actually be a nerf to Ahsoka. Her second special passes turn meter even when she's not supposed to be able to. So like against JMK, you can still pass turn meter to an ally with it. Against Hux, you can still pass a turn meter. So that's another issue that's going on as well. There's a whole slew of them, and I'm surprised there's only like one thing on the board that's just like, yeah, by the way. So
Yeah.
oh, the Exile's bugged. Exile will still allow GLs to gain their buffs, even though it exiled on a GL is supposed to work like Fracture. So you should, when you exile Leia, she shouldn't be able to gain Retribution again, but she does.
She does. Ah, okay. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
So that one's bugged. There's just a whole slew of little things that once they get things fixed, I get really worried for what works versus Ahsoka. Because a lot of the game right now is like, you don't have to try as hard with Leia because, you know, they die.
Yourself there, Karth. They've just been waiting for Darkside Vision Ray to come out, and then they'll fix her. And then,
I honest to God believe that. Honest to God believe that, because I'm like, I think
then
they
there'll
know
be less community outrage.
Exactly. That's exactly what I feel like they're waiting for. Like, well, if we wait for Darkseid Ray to come out and we fix these, then the people won't be as mad because they'll have the counter.
Yeah, right.
Though, fun little theory craft for people with Darkseid Ray. Slap her with First Order. So do Slacker, Crew. I would do Foss because I have a Relic 9. Hux. Drop Hux. Put in Mara Jade and Darkseid Ray. Because Mara Jade's unique will put the loyal, whatever, the person on him.
Yeah. Oh no, you're thinking of Pawn.
Pawn. Yeah, Pawn. Which is an actual debuff. So when Ray's debuff, she gets plus 50% speed.
Ooh, yeah.
So you just put two tanks out in front to that can never lose their taunt unless you put them on buff immunity, and then just let Mara Jade be thicker than a Snicker and watch just Ray wreak havoc on the team.
Sounds like
he's
fun.
Going to be so effective.
I can't wait to get her, man. Because Darkseid Vision Ray looks sick, dude. She looks sick.
Oh yeah.
The abilities look cool. The so much of the stuff looks cool on what she can do, and a lot of her kit, though, honestly, it's kind of funny to me that there's only like one real call out to being all First Order, and that is that they don't get the 100% health if it's not all First Order, which, I mean, depending on what you're trying to do, may or may not matter. But that's the only call out. Everything else, it could matter. If you're trying to beat Ahsoka Tano, then yeah, that's probably important. But against most everything else, I think just what Ray brings to the table, you can plug and play the rest of the team a little bit more.
Very likely.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what she's capable of. In and outside of a Slacker team. I think with her kit, she's a little bit more slaved to Slacker than Bane is to C.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. There's a lot. There's I know that there might not be much that's directly calling out to full First Order, but most of it is based on First Order allies in general. And a lot of the synergies
she
like
does
the
have
meter removal, etc.
Yeah, she has multiple callouts though that are if there is a leader, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, then these things take effect. And then she has, like you just said, synergy with his kit. So she'll pull Turn Meter, which gives them, 10% health and protection, max health and protection as they go. So it's one of those things where you're gonna likely not ever split them. They're not going to be worth taking apart.
Boss Livewire was saying that the taunt ignore is also for full First Order.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, that's quite a useful one because Slacker not being able to ignore taunts is a bit of a pain for him.
Hold on. I don't want to say
the taunt ignore is pretty huge.
Yeah,
but I want to say
What?
Yeah. And now a clip from our sponsor. It's just us. We sponsor this show.
Yeah,
It's
I'm trying
it's
to remember which
Saturday
ability,
the 5th.
which one
We
it
should-
is.
We should get some fake sponsors.
We
and
should
just,
get
like,
some fake sponsors. Yeah.
run some fake ads and just pretend that we're making millions of dollars off of all of our wonderful sponsors.
Wait, you guys don't
sponsor
make
our-
millions of dollars? I'm swimming in pools of money over here.
Oh yes, of course you are. Yep. Mhm,
Yep.
Checks out.
Yep. I only look like a scruff bag out of choice. All right? It's out of choice. Although I did get a new shaver, a beard trimmer yesterday, which I was very happy with. I was like, ooh, beard trimmer. Because the last one, it was nice and it was good, but within about 2 weeks of me getting it, I remember I'd set it on the side of the sink and I accidentally knocked it off and it broke the head off. So I had it quite literally sellotaped on. And I'd used it like that for about 2 years.
Yeah,
Just
so no,
sellotape the fuck on.
I'm right. I'm right.
So Boss
Oh,
Livewire,
there-
he was talking about full first order. This just says
No,
first
no.
order can ignore Tonta. He was talking about things
Yeah,
that are locked
fir-
behind full first order.
Yeah, full first order
Yeah.
allies with advantage ignore taunt effects, so it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
it's full first order or not. So the only I know, yeah, you don't get the health out of the second unique without being full first order, and then I believe that's really it. There are a lot of calls out to first order in things triggering, but you'll
Yeah.
still have mostly first order allies, so it's only going to be like, yeah, it's just to make Ray fast. It's a funny little gimmick. It's nothing to do, like, I don't think many people are going to run it Mara Jade with Ray unless
Yeah.
by some sort of Datacron support it becomes ungodly to have Ray at 500 speed. Like,
It's generally
okay,
not
then
going to be
maybe-
worth it. Yeah, breaking up your star color team and fucking that up and everything. I would generally try and keep that one, or at least keep her with Palpatine for the most part. But there's always some niche cases, so you never know.
Yeah,
Figure out some random ass shit.
It's only going to work in fives too, because you have to protect Mara Jade, otherwise it falls apart immediately. So it's like you need a tank in front of her, and in fives you could potentially look at running some of the different, like there used to be a Vader lead Star Killer team that still works the same, and there are plenty of dark side UFOs now to fill the gap. So you could make it work depending on what Datacron support is, but that's what all the game comes down to now is just Datacron. What Datacron support is where you can pull teams into. So, anyways.
I remember I used to use the Darth Vader lead Star Killer team when the Empire had the debuff cooldown reduction
God.
thing, because Mara Jade would just sit there and throw bombs for days, and it was just like, yeah, I don't even need anybody else.
That used to be that used to be so fun on offense, where you could just have
Yeah,
Mara
that
Jade
was-
just
Oh,
go
yeah.
grenade, 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 grenade,
Well,
grenade.
that was Vader too, though, because Vader could literally, as long as there was like more than one ally, he could literally just force crush, merciless massacre, force crush, merciless massacre. You can just chain them back and forth indefinitely. I do
Darth
miss
Vader
that.
could
'cause,
loop
if-
like hell.
Yeah, if he was fast enough, he would just wreck everything. And it was a fun time.
Sounds like that
in
would be kind of
Galaxy
fun
of
with an
Heroes.
Aphra team as well, to be fair. It'd be like, let's get all of the potency
I mean,
stacks.
Honest to God, though, Aphra's just needs a stupid tank. They need a droid dark side
actual
tank.
tank.
She's got a stupid
Yeah.
tank. It's Santi.
It's Kersantin.
She's
It doesn't
got a
even free
tank.
time.
It doesn't
Oh my
even.
God.
Yeah, all you just
I'll
need
tell-
is
Oh,
like a
God.
400 speed Santi. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, because that
Done.
character's got a base speed
Easy.
of like 320, 325,
Yeah.
right?
It's got a base speed of
Absolutely.
like 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No
You just
problem.
need some really good mods.
Yep.
All
yep,
of your
yep,
mods.
Yeah.
The best mods you have in your fucking roster.
Yeah.
Give them to Kersantin for
Yep.
speed.
Yeah.
The speed. Fuck his protection. He doesn't need it.
No,
He
they
just
need-
needs to be
This
fast.
they
is
need-
totally real
they need
advice we're
two
giving
new
you.
droids.
Yeah.
I need 2 new droids. Well, it's the only thing about Afro that kind of sucks though is they pigeonholed her kit so much. Like, yeah, she can work with dark side scoundrels, but she can only revive the droid. So it's like, I feel like she needs to have a full team of droids behind her. Like her invader is kind of fun, but again, it's a one trick pony that can work. But there's just so many caveats to it. It's like, I don't know. Afra is probably the biggest letdown legendary that they've ever released in the game because she's only works in 5v5s. She doesn't have really any play in 3v3 because her Omicrons don't work there. And then her team is like, well, it might work if, you can get your debuffs out and then they can't stun lock you or daze you into the floor or what. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the other teams have those things built into their protections. Same with like Seer Malicos and everything else. Like they're immune to daze, they can't get stunned, that kind of stuff. That just really makes them. Yeah. They work better. Whereas like Afra's just like, well, when that Datacron comes around.
She's really good with that Datacron, man. Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is just a bit of a shame. It is just a bit of a shame when it comes to it. I don't know what I think CG would specifically when we talk about the Omicrons. I know you brought it up just a second ago. It feels like CG were just trying to figure out ways of wanting to get us to invest more Omicrons into the team. When realistically, they should have just made her Omicrons active in both game modes and made BT1 or 000s BTW ones or TB ones to try and spread it out a little. As it stands, it's just like she's got 3 Omicrons and it's only works in half of the GACs, and a lot of people don't like 3s anyway. It's like
that was one of the dumbest things ever. Splitting it up and like locking them into like a 3v3 and a 5v5 GAC. I am so glad they started pulling back from doing that. I mean, I have the Tusken one. I don't have either of the droid Omicrons or anything, but locking them behind either one is such shit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
In fairness, though, when they designed Afra, they designed the reason why they did not allow her Omicrons to work in both is because they were designing BT1 and 000 to have GAC Omicrons.
Oh,
and
I agree. I think it was dumb.
It was too stifling to have her active in both, and then the droids have theirs. That's why they shut it off. And I'm like, well, what you should have done was just not put it on the droids at all, and then just left hers alone. But the other thing too with Afro's kit that's really frustrating is the thresholds are so stupid low. Like 20% to get damage. Like if you fall below 20% health, you get damage immunity. Like in a game where it's like most characters go from 50% health to dead in one shot, and they're like, yeah, but you might trigger this and it'd be clutch. And I'm like, the fight's gotten to that point. I'm pretty hosed.
Well,
it's like the frickin' Gungan thing, where like the Gungans get damage immunity below 50% health. It's like, no. If you get that low, you're fucking dead. I'm sorry. What is this? This is so dumb.
But it's hard enough with
that loses health. They just go from I'm out of protection and then dead.
It's hard enough, when you're facing off against Lord Vader's with Bam, trying to trigger his damage immunity against Maul. And that's like 75%. I know, granted, it's Maul, and Maul ramps damage in his Seething Rage or whatever, but if it's hard to sometimes trigger that 75% threshold, having something below 25% is just dumb. It's like,
dude, there's been times
they're not tanky.
Maul, there's been times where Maul just goes and like gets my character to like 80% and then just goes and blasts and just knocks him out with like that one last fucking hit, and you're like, oh, well, I guess
and
that
the counter's over.
And over with. That was fun. Back it in, boys.
All right, we're going home, boys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew I shouldn't have used the Fennec counter. It was a cool counter.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It's always on the edge. It's one of those counters where you're just like, it could go wrong at any freaking second, but when it works, oof.
Yeah, and now we still get to use Bam, but it's in a Bo-Katan Mandalore team, and then you face off. It's fucking hilarious, actually, because you bring in Bo-Katan Mandalore. I usually take Bam against Lord Vader just for a safety reason. I'm just like, plus I don't use him anywhere else. And it's kind of like, Maul will go all in on IG-12, and IG-12 will just stay at maximum health throughout all of his Seething Rages. You're just like, oh, okay, IG-12's fine. He just shreds it all off. So I didn't even trigger Bam. He just sat there like, and what? Come on in. No.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Oh
and
my
and the DI hurts IG-12 too a little bit. You can't counterattack and call
Yeah.
the assist and stuff like that. So it's like there's so many things that like CG tries to repurpose sometimes. Where it's just like I don't think you understood how this was going to interact because it's like I think overall is that you can still get away very easily with dropping Bam out of the team and
Yeah.
putting him with scoundrels and just leaving either bringing OG
Paz, usually.
armor or well, in threes would be Paz, but you can bring
Yeah.
in the armor or you can bring in a couple other options for the team as well, and it still performs just as well. A lot of the 5v5 comp is just looking at OG Bo's kit and goes, "Oh, thanks for the extra 100% protection."
We do like that
3v3,
extra
do you guys
100%.
normally use BAM in 3v3? I normally
I do,
use
yeah.
IG and Paz.
Yeah, I use BAM. But
It depends. It depends on what I'm fighting. When it's a high damage combo from like Maul and somebody else or whatever you're fighting, and then I just want to have because IG has the higher priority. So then just going all in on IG and him being damaged immune is just a way to burn the initial salvo.
Okay.
But Kaz does just fine as well. I've just had terrible RNG, well, not really RNG, just terrible luck with him on some counters where it's just like he never gets to go. He just sits there and eats all the damage and then dies and can't be revived. And then I just sit there and go, well,
weird.
That was fun. So
yeah, he usually does fine for me. But okay, I was just wondering because they usually just stick to that. But okay, yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those
What just
things where it's like my experience in GAC is a little different from the average bear. So
yes, having fucked around and found out on Karth's GAC matches, it is like playing a different beast. But on the plus side, we still won Karth's GAC on Friday, despite dropping 2 battles. Was it 2?
We dropped 2. We dropped a really unfortunate battle in Fleet that didn't need to be dropped because somebody might have overlooked the fact that we had a negotiator.
Now listen, listen. These things happen in the heated moment, okay? In the heat of the moment.
This was used sober too. Sober.
I think we've come to understand that
and you have to scroll past them to get to any of my other capital ships.
I think we have to come to understand that the days of me blaming my lack of sobriety on my poor GAC performance are actually over. I think I perform just as well when I'm pissed as when I'm sober. That is to say, I make stupid decisions and mistakes.
I'll give you one thing on that though, is that when you have people in VC with you, it gets harder and harder to focus on what's exactly in front of you. And so it's like, I don't blame you for it. I just thought it was funny because you're just like, we're going to clean this up with first order. Hope it works. I'm like, dude, negotiators right there. And you should have used it a lot sooner.
It did work, though.
It did work. We did get through it. It's fine. Yeah, the Relic 9 crew really helped us out. But yeah, the
just in general though, like streaming your GAC, you make mistakes that you don't make normally because you're trying to concentrate on so many other things at the same time, right? And like when I wasn't feeling well the other week, and there was a GAC I was supposed to do, and I just did it offline. I didn't drop a battle. I got like a 20-48 or something against a tough defense. I was like, it's a lot easier to do this when you're not live streaming. Who knew?
That it is.
Just ignore chat for like things, 2 hours. It's fine. Just don't worry about it.
People don't come to live streams to have engaging chat, right?
Yeah, no, they don't want that. They don't want that.
Who would want that?
Yeah, who would want that?
So what ended up happening on at least that one is I'll have to see what he used first, but his Leia counter failed. And so then he used Bane to clear up Leia. And then I believe didn't have C Bane to deal with Glatt in the back wall.
Glatt in the back.
Did what he could and then couldn't clear it. And so, which is, that's pretty much where Ahsoka is right now, is like if your one counter fails, good luck. Like there's no cheap cleanups to her right now. She is so goddamn tanky that she just looks at you and goes, well, you can't use attack out of turn, so you just gotta have raw damage and good luck with that because everything that's not a GL usually relies on attack out of turns
Yeah.
to do
and
their
you,
damage.
And you
so
can't
it's like,
insta-kill Ezra or anything like that, so...
well, yeah, even if it's a solo Ezra, I've had people have to, they go through 5 or 6 teams trying to get low-hanging fruit to kill her and then finally fold and bring in a GL to do it because you don't get enough damage elsewhere. Even though she doesn't do anything, she just doesn't die.
I've definitely had that where it's been like they've gone in to fight Glat, Ezra, Huyang. They've killed Huyang. And then it's like 4 additional battles and it's still Glat and Ezra and they're fine. And then they eventually clear it because they've probably decided, oh, fuck, I just have to slacker this or something. Like,
slacker or Bane ends up being the go-to. I just gave up on it. I'm like, Bane is the counter to Ahsoka. I don't use Bane anywhere else now. I will gamble on other things.
That 100% is the counter that I use to Glat all the time now is Bane. I'm just like, I ain't fucking around with this team. And it's a pretty solid counter, to be fair. It's pretty reliable.
I've seen shockingly few Glats on defense. I've seen like I'm on the edge of Kyber 1. I'm in like so I'm in Kyber 1 right now, but I'm in like the edge of Kyber 1, Kyber 2 for this season. And I think I faced like maybe 1 Ahsoka.
Oh really?
Like maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like weirdly low rates of Ahsokas in the brackets, at least for me.
The part that sucks though is that when you see less Ahsokas, you see more of those stupid Ezra Ben Rey teams. You're just like,
oh god,
get out of here. Just go away. Just go away.
That might be worse, honestly. I'm not sure which is worse.
It is worse. It is worse because it's like even like one of the best counters to it, of course, is Seer Starkiller Malicos.
Yeah.
But if Starkiller gets the Exile, or no, is it Malicos? I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
I think if Malicos gets the Exile, then the run goes dead immediately, and you might as well just wasted a really good team against it. And so it's like, it's so frustrating that's still one of the best counters, and there's not really a GL team that can pick it apart because you can't instantly defeat any of them because of Ezra, and you can't use. It's just it's rough.
Right now, Leia is working generally, but like we said,
once
the revives and everything, who the fuck knows?
That Razor team on defense is genuinely a situation where Ezra can solo the rest of the team. Like his allies can be dead, and he'll just be like, "I'm now going to kill your entire team," because you're just like, I can't hit you, I can barely stun you, and you're doing crazy damage, and you're healing all the time. You fuck. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. But I also don't like to take Ezra away from GL Ahsoka Tano because I feel like.
Well, you take Ezra away from Ahsoka, and the counters get much cheaper for her. You know, it's like you can see without Bane on that one. You can Leia that really easily. Slacker becomes a much more reliable counter on that as well. So there's a lot of things. It's just like, I get where your head's at by doing it, but at the same time, it's like it's not really worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah. To be fair.
I think right now it's just like it's like Ezra's. It either gives you a better chance at Rey holding or a better chance at Ahsoka holding, but you just are picking in between.
If you don't have Ahsoka, then 100% he should be going with Rey. Like just
without a doubt.
Next fucking level. Just do it. Just you will not regret it. But yeah,
there's still something funky going on with General Syndulla as well, with her leadership triggering the bonus turn and then the death, because it seems like that triggers whenever you try to insta-kill one of the enemy units, even if they're immune. So if Ezra is passing insta-kill immunity and you do a move that causes insta-kill, it obviously doesn't work because of Ezra, but it triggers Hera's leadership, so they take a bonus turn and they die. And it's just kind of like, what? Because I remember using C's ult against the team.
Yeah.
I did like 50k damage to them, barely hurt them, and they all took bonus turns and died. I was like, okay, that's something.
I remember that. Barely tickled them. We were just like, oh, they're gone now.
I guess.
Okay. That's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh man. Alternatively, though, Wolfie, I did have lots of fun doing the C-Watt against Basti Lead JML1.
Oh yes.
Oh my god,
dude, that was absurd. Oh my god, what was that? 248 or
on a
300,
basic?
400 fucking five. I don't even know how much it was, but it was an insanely high basic. Oh god.
Yeah, the basic was somewhere in the region of 250 to 350, and then the ult did like 550k in
Yeah,
total. I was
something like that.
okay. I
that
think
was
they're
fucking
dead.
wild.
And he just like he was never in
Absolutely
any
next
danger.
level.
It was just like, yep.
I mean, it's a. To be fair though, it's a fake counter which doesn't work. But
I mean,
that was
it doesn't-
beautiful.
It wasn't real, obviously. It was in my
it wasn't
dreams,
real.
But
It clearly
even if-
didn't happen. We don't
even
have
if
the
you
VOD to
check,
prove it.
like
but,
SWGoH and you see the battle there.
Yeah, no.
I was clearly just using hacks in an APK.
Yeah,
so.
clearly.
Well,
Clearly.
it's just nuance though, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to run it a long time with the auto basic to ramp
Yeah.
the mastery to do the damage, and people are just like, yeah, but you look at SWGoH Insight, it's only like a 40% win rate. It's like, yeah, it's because you're not running it out for 4 minutes and then ulting.
Yeah.
You're getting ult and then ulting, and then you're like, well, I can't damage JML at all. It's like, well, yeah, because you didn't ramp enough. You're not reading kits well.
Yep.
Do better. Do better.
If you get rid of Watt really early and he's not there assisting all the fucking time, so you can just charge your mastery up, you are going to do nothing.
Yeah.
And you will deserve it. I'm sorry. It's just
Good
how
day,
you're supposed
sir.
to play the fucking just. I say good day. Yeah, you got to charge up, man. That's how the kit works. Sorry, just sit there for 4 minutes, and then I mean, it's not that difficult. It's just link JML, link Watt, auto basic for 4 minutes, press auto.
I guess the weird thing about it is it's just unintuitive. It's kind of like you feel like you're playing it wrong by not trying to ult and blow people up, because that's
Right.
what C does, right? It's like survive to ult,
Yeah.
go into ult, destroy people. But this one's like,
Yeah.
no, just auto basic.
No. Yes.
Just
sit there and
Hakuna
ramp for 4
Yatadas.
minutes. Indeed.
But it does work. Speaking
It
of,
does.
we
It's
have
beautiful.
had new plug and play character come to the game in the form of Omega Fugitive, and she's been having some fun with
plug and
cooldown
play.
reductions,
Balls.
right?
I mean,
I haven't heard a whole
yeah.
lot about this, so please elaborate. I've seen some stuff with like a nihilist combination or something like that, but
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
please
CG are
elaborate.
looking into it at the moment, but basically they've
okay.
given her a cooldown reduction ability that can reduce cooldowns dependent on relic levels by like 8 turns.
right.
And it's not restricted by faction or anything. It applies to anybody. So Nihilus is clearly like one of the characters that benefits massively because he's got an 8-turn cooldown on his Annihilate ability. So being able to immediately reset that is
Yeah.
kind of nice, right? So that, and I'm just genuinely surprised that CG put in a character like that has no restrictions around who it can reduce cooldowns on, because normally they're so prescriptive, right? You'd think that
Yeah.
cooldown reduction is huge. I want fun times
An
like that.
ability
I
that-
want,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, it's, to be honest though, it's like it's only going to be a thing for like the next, like if they don't touch it, it's going to be a thing for like maybe 3 to 4 months,
Mhm.
and then when the new Bad Batch team is full, there's no real point to run Omega Nihilus. Where it's like, okay, I've murdered my Treya team in order to get a turn 1 cooldown Annihilate, which I mean may or may not be useful. So it's like, okay, I see where you're at, but in like 4 to 6 months, when you have the new Bad Batch team and they're going to want to be all new characters together, then it's just like, all right, well, why are you bothering?
It highlights to me that the new Bad Batch team is going to have to be good enough to warrant us not want to fuck around and do weird stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're going to have to make it good. We don't know anything about what this new Bad Batch really does yet. So I guess time will tell, really. What's your thoughts, Wolf?
I was saying like the whole Omega Nihilus whatever sort of thing. You know, it's one of those. Oh, it's a neat trick, kind of deals. So it'll you can maybe like use it to show something off, and you know, if you're Arnold, make a YouTube video and get a bunch of views, because that is kind of a fun interaction. But I think kind of like what Karth was saying, it might fall off from actual usefulness and whatnot to be like one of those, hey, that's kind of neat sort of things, but may end up not really being all that useful, you know, going down the road. If for nothing else, then so many characters are immune to insta kills. Just keep on adding things in. So if you're like trying to insta kill some big target, I mean, maybe just like going, like, you still have to clean up the rest of the team. So maybe if you're playing like in the GOM style and you're just like sending 10 teams to go and break down one because you've set everything on defense, then yeah, maybe you'll line up your super insta kill and just go and just yeet a few people with Nihilus. But if you're saving more stuff for offense, you know, maybe won't be the most useful thing.
Job in chat really does probably hit the nail on the head. It's most likely that someone like Crosshair will actually have some form of insta-kill that just goes in the team, and then it kind of nullifies the need to throw her in a Nihilus team or get Nihilus in.
That wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
Right? It would make sense for Crosshair to have some sort of, you know, sniping ability that just insta-kills. Kind of like, you know, OG Mando. Just snipe someone, they're dead. I really hope for Crosshair they give him some sort of PTSD unique, because that was actually good character development inside of the story.
Right, where he's with like this handshake and all that sort of stuff. That was actually kind of interesting. Them going into that.
It was good. You know, that was a nice touch, because they weren't ham-fisted with it either. It was just like, it was showing the effects of trauma on a soldier essentially, and not like
soldier and then a prisoner.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he got tortured, essentially, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's no surprise he's got some psychological trauma, and he doesn't know what it is or how to deal with it, because he wouldn't know, would he? Like, technically, they're still very young. It was good. Yeah. So I thought that was a nice touch. I don't know how and why they would, you know, reflect that in the kit, but I just thought it was a nice part of character development for him. And I thought it was quite...
Well, I think that's what they're doing with her like kind of like pseudo bounty hunter mechanic, though, is he's gonna have to get stacks of the new unique of the blue buff, and then that's how he's gonna get to do it.
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I think something like that. I think they're gonna have an interaction with that. Well, that capture and rescue is the savior mechanic for her.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the practice aim. He's gonna have a way to interact with that. He's going to be able to maintain the stacks on his character.
Yeah.
And then it'll get to unlocking, you know, like a bounty hunter mechanic. It feels like that's where we're kind of headed with this, is having some of that overlay.
Yeah.
Between like Scoundrel Mercenary into Bad Batch, because of course Hunter and Wrecker are going to be in Mercenary tags.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm assuming Crosshair is, because they called him just Scar.
No.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
I was thinking
he won't
about
be
that.
He won't be. He wasn't really a part of the mercenary part of it. It took him most of season 3 to, you know, get out of that. So I don't think he'll be a part of that. So
yeah, that's kind of why I was going back and forth on it. It didn't really seem like if he would really earn the whole mercenary title. I mean, the rest of them obviously no shit. I was expecting they would all be mercenaries, like Omega too, but
yeah,
I guess if they're going for more of a season 3, she was a captive for most of that, as it were, less of a season 2 thing.
It makes you think though, if they're going to be mercenaries, are they going to have some form of Soldier of Fortune interaction that works within the season 3 Bad Batch team? Or are they going to have Soldier of Fortune things that only works as plug-and-play mercenaries?
I think they're going to have something with practice. Again, it's going to go back to practice aim. They're going to get Soldier of Fortune tags. They'll have a Soldier of Fortune unique that gives them stuff, but it's going to scale off of her practice aim mechanic. So it's going to be a ramping mechanic for the team that they're going to be able to, like, you know, kind of like how Shin works. She needs a certain stack to Soldier of Fortune before she gets to that.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do with probably Hunter and Wrecker is that they're going to, once they get enough practice aim, it converts into some Soldier of Fortune stacks, and then Soldier of Fortune ability becomes available. Something like that would be how my brain would jump to going, because otherwise the whole practice aim mechanic doesn't really make sense right now. Because we have no idea what the interaction is. Besides the capture part of it.
Rescue.
So I think that
we can guess and everything, but
my guess is that it's going to be each character is going to have something that interacts with it, and we use it.
Yeah.
And real quick to address LBC Robbie in chat, I fucking hope so. New Asajj.
New Asajj coming to the game. Yeah, I hope so. It feels a bit ambiguous at the minute, so.
Unless she's a dark side merc, which it wouldn't be like totally.
What if she's neutral?
Off base?
Make her a neutral merc.
Don't do neutral ever again. Hondo was the experiment, and he failed terribly.
They tried it once.
Failed terribly is
It
rough.
just-
Hondo is a
It
great
doesn't work.
character, has a lot of use, but their entire game relies on light side, dark side. So unless they allow
Yeah.
neutral characters to benefit from light side and dark side attributes, then
Yeah,
that's the only
was
way you
so
can
dumb.
keep making neutral characters. Without it, it just
100% agree.
ruins the team. So
100%.
I
They need to get both.
Yeah.
Light side and dark side. It's just
that's the
insane that they
easier
get neither.
fix. That's the easier fix for me because then we can have a lot more thematic neutral teams or neutral characters that would work.
Yeah.
But
Because that would make more sense if they're a neutral character and they're playing both sides. If you're working for the dark side, you get the dark side ability. If you're working for the light side, you get the light side ability. Like that,
Yeah.
that's just so thematic. That makes sense. Like, come on.
Yeah, it makes
Basics
sense, but I really
it's
hope they
just
do
funny,
make that
man.
change, but I'm not holding my breath out for it.
Because I remember when we first had the announcement about Hondo being neutral and neutral tag and all this, and we were assuming, they might retroactively change some of the droids to be neutral, and we'll get some more stuff.
Yeah.
And I think
We were going through all the
about,
bounty hunters and like, which one of these would
Yeah.
be neutral?
and we'd be like talking about how, in TB we could use neutral characters in both versions of TB, and we'll get extra use of them. And now it's more like, we just don't use Hondo in anything apart from that special mission that he's required for. Or combat mission that he's required
because
for.
his mechanic resetting too is the problem because he it's easy when he takes his first turn to just ignore whoever he captures and then get the stacks and go, but then they reset the next wave, and so it's so easy for him to mistakenly put it on a 10% level tank, and then he dies, and then Hondo runs away. It's just like, son of a. They should honestly should have just changed that to inside of TW in 3v3 or 5v or GAC. If he has less than X stacks, he retreats, and then in every other game mode, he just says, "I don't care." That would have been a way around that too. But
I just think it was silly that he resets his stacks. I mean, like, how many characters reset
Well,
their
same
stacks
thing
after the
with-
waves and everything? It doesn't make fucking sense. Like, Bo.
that's what everyone said with
armor stacks goes away.
armor stacks go away, bow mandos go away. The
It's
only
just-
thing that
it's
keeps
insane.
through right now is Grandmaster's training, and then Ray's unique, I believe, the lifeblood.
No, there's a few
unique she
other
puts
ones.
up.
Oh, right.
Like Ezra passes out, like that buff sticks.
Does Mirai's wisdom? I have no idea.
Sorry, not Ezra's buff. Yeah, I think Morai's wisdom should stick. I meant Drogon's buff. I mean Drogon's buff definitely
Drogon's
sticks.
buff does, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, what is it called again? I can't remember now. Bloody hell.
Keen
Don't
stratagem.
Yeah,
It's
Keen
Drogon's buff.
Stratagem.
It's called Drogon's buff.
It's
Actually,
called
I
really-
think you're wrong.
It's called the Rebels version of Master's Training. All right, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yes. That's its official title. Apologies. But anyway.
So we're just going to create a team which is Hermit Yoda, it's Drogon, it's GL Ahsoka Tano. Who else gives a version of Master's Training, and we can just have all people with permanent buffs forever. Armorer with the
perfect.
triple stacks, yeah. And that's,
Well, the
that's
armor
how
is
we'll go.
the stacks go away.
Well, which is a real shame. It's a real because in TB it makes sense to be like, I know, I'll get the triple stacks and I'll put it on this character and I'll carry it between waves, and you lose it all. You're like, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Well, and then you only have
Like,
2 waves
yeah.
now too. It's just like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
Because honest to God, that nobody likes to run teams that it's like, well, it'll win in 20 minutes. It's like, no, thank you. I need to win in the next like 30 seconds. Honest to God, I've had a little I've been bored with things moment, and I put on a lot of TB Amis.
Oh, I noticed that. I think Night Fox sent me a screen grab.
Hands down.
Your pants?
Fin resistance
All five
is
Hans? What?
Hey.
Fin resistance is like the best TB Ami you could get your hands on.
Better than Malak?
Like if you've got the all right, fair enough.
Because Marok's one is
Marok's
like you go in 3 turns, 3 seconds later you win.
Yeah, it's because of Reva's leadership and and getting all the purge out right up the rip. But the
That's pretty wild.
and
Yeah.
but like fin resistance,
So it's like Conquest.
like it's
Yeah.
yeah. Fin resistance is literally like once you take your first turn, the enemy team just melts in front of you.
Cool.
And that's
I
it.
like that.
And then the fact that you have the free revive on the next wave, so everyone comes back, and just like, and then all you do is just like well, we're going to proc our exposes. We're going to get tons of turn meter. We're going to never have cooldowns, and then just everything gets splash damage. Because every time you proc an expose, it hits everybody. So if they have exposes on them as well, like you have an AoE exposed person, like OGPO,
Yeah.
and then you use a basic that has it exposed, everyone gets hit, proxy exposes, you get all your cooldowns back, everyone gets a turn. It's a lot of fun. I've been using it on like everything all the way up, and just like it's an instant I win button. Which if you're into TB and you've got the investment, it's fun. But yeah, that's one I can recommend.
Take your word for it.
Yep. I'll never experience it, probably.
Yeah.
Very few. No, we got to make content on it, Scribe. You can just borrow the account. For
I'll borrow
you
your
see
account to make
TW,
it,
a TB. I'd appreciate
There we
that.
Yeah. Typically, people just don't give two hoots about TB Ommies. Like I'm talking about viewership now. Like if I put, people just don't watch that shit. But I might do it anyway. Because
it's few and far between, but there are, if you want to get into more into TB guild, you're not into TWT or GAC kind of stuff. I just like it because for me it's just a nice team that autos any mission I put it on. So that's where I'm just like, all right, I can win with that. If I can auto,
you have like every Ommy in the game basically, so you might as well.
Yeah, I've every GAC on me besides the 2 droids for Afra's team, and then I have I have every impactful TW Omicron, and then I've got a good slew of the TB ones now.
But no phalanx on me.
Honest to God, with the size of my roster, there's like no reason to do Conquest or Galactic Challenge on me. It's just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like I've got the depth where it's just like, if I can't do it with the team that they want
your
me
account can't do it, there's no hope.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like the only time I can't do something on my account is like when they're like, well, you need Jawas or Ewoks, and then it requires remodding them, and I'm like, I'm not going to remod. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
I'll just drop it down until I can get them to do it. But
that's actually one of the problems I have with the Omega Omni is actually pretty decent at TB1, but you do actually need to have good mods on the team. And Bad Batch is just not. It's not that they're a bad team, but they're not what they used to be. You know, so the value of putting really good mods on them is just not there.
What they used to be consistently got buffed. And so they don't beat that as well anymore. And then everything else that's come out right now, they don't stand a chance against because of Datacron support. So it's like they just get backburnered really, really hard. And then like Queen Amidala in 5 just takes 2 other Galactic Republic units for her team, which last season of 5s was you would take, like Tech and Echo on with that just for the debuffs. And so like you keep stealing them, I guess, the main way. So it's like they just don't have a viability on their own 2 feet at the moment. So we'll see what shakes loose if we get a Bad Batch Kron that all of a sudden, gives somebody some turn meter or speed or something.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? And that's my only disappointment really with that army. I did it as it was a community thing. I don't really do TB Ommies. If I was to do one, it would probably be Marok, just because that would be.
It literally turns the Inquisitors into NECM as an instant win. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like go
and
blap, goodbye.
You can take Balin under Slacker on the later planets, and he'll do just fine.
But Balin does pretty good. To be fair, I've never not gone 2 out of 2 with Balin on any of them.
It depends on the missions because his team falls apart really fast. Besides Marok and Shin, and so there's some of the middle planets where, depending on what you're fighting, and like Vandor's one of those planets where it's not great for him because of all the dots and stuff with the confusion. It makes it challenging to keep his taunt up and things of that nature.
Oh, right. Another mission.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's tons of splash damage on the later planets. Hoth has got not Hoth. What's the one before that?
is it Kessel and then Vandor, or Vandor then Kessel?
You expect me
it's
to remember
Castle
names
first.
of planets? The names of planets.
It's the
don't
think it's
matter.
planet,
Castle
and then
first.
the one after it, and then the one the next one, and it's
Yeah,
the middle in
so
that phase, and then it's
Castle's
the other
first.
one.
It's the mixed
Castle's
one.
first, and
Yeah.
Castle has all
I got you.
the splash damage on it, which makes it, and then the confusion, and then Vandor has the dots that can never go away past phase or wave 1. And so with Balin not having any, way to reduce percent health effects, it gets, if you don't survive well wave 1,
I guarantee at
have a
some
hard time
point
wave 2.
they're gonna release a mercenary that goes into Balin's team that it'll be like, if this character has got 30 stacks of Soldier of Fortune, all mercenaries take reduced damage for percentile health effects, and we'll be like,
Oh my god, please.
joy.
Yeah, I don't know who they bring in. I know in the survey that
clearly.
Meathead.
Yeah.
Well, I would be okay with this. The new the survey Meathead put out last week, which was asking basically, if we do a mercenary character, what tag should it be? Like
Mercenary tag.
Yeah, well, like healer, attacker, or support tank, or I think support, healer, attacker, or tank. And I'm like, well, can we please? Well, it was mercenary scoundrel or something else. They were all like what you'd normally see a mercenary be. It's like they're always like a scoundrel plus mercenary. So it's like it was one of those. Anyways, It was interesting to kind of see, but it's like I would like Balin to finish out a team just because I don't like half-baked teams. And I don't mind Pondo with Balin, but it's not like he makes an impactful difference on the team. And so it's like, could we just finish him off and then just do a light side version of mercenary team?
To me, it genuinely feels like with Balin, it's kind of like it's Balin, Shin, and Marok, and then whoever the fuck else you've got for the last 2 slots.
+2, yeah.
So
who dies and steals 3 banners from you? Ready, go. Place them in the team.
Dadbod Boba has filled that role very well. I mean, sometimes in TB missions, Dadbod Boba is actually a lot of fun in that team. He does generate a lot of turn meter, and that's always nice. But again, it never feels like the extra 2 are really contributing massively. It's just like we wait until Balin and Shin and Marok start lopping off heads in fantastic fashion. So
pretty much.
Good times. We have so many Tribe Talks questions, and we've got to wrap this up in the next half an hour. So I think we get cracking, guys. I think we get cracking.
Blitz time. Blitz mode. Ready, go.
Blitz mode. All right. Fucking so many questions. Bobby Buckets asks, are we impressed or disappointed with GL Ahsoka? We've already answered this, and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we remember anything about At-Atten? Can't say I remember no At-Atten.
Can't say I remember no At-Atten.
So Trodat says, should we go all out on the new Bad Batch, or should we go easy, as there's not a legendary or anything else I understood? My take is chill. Nothing's coming with this new set. It's a new team. I'm sure it'll be fun, but don't go crazy. That's my take on it.
It's unlikely it's going to be used for a raid. They already confirmed that there is no journey guide or epic confrontation unit tied with these characters. So I would easily just take this as a time to, if you haven't already, finish Glat or finish Balin, but I would unlock them as far as you want to, but I wouldn't wail on them for anything. Because there's just no need. By the time they get used somewhere, we can easily farm them up and get them online.
Yeah. And honestly, it's been so long since we've had new characters come out when they're not needed for anything. You know what I mean? Like all of last year, it felt like every single group of characters that came out, there was pressure to get all of them.
Yeah.
Like Gungans came out, Gen Jar Jar, Queen Amidala came out, great for the raid. What else came out? Bloody all of the requirements for Balin and GL Ahsoka Tano came out, and everybody's like, shit, we got to get all of these characters as quickly as possible. Get them quick. And now it feels like new team comes out, they don't do anything, and nothing's coming for them. It's like, okay, cool. That's great. Yeah, cool. I'll just chill on this one.
Yeah, enjoy the break. Enjoy the break. Either hoard or get caught up on something else, but don't worry about them for anything.
Yeah. That's definitely. Are you in the same vein as that, Wolfie, or you feeling like we're running a dangerous line here?
Well, I'm sort of thinking about, maybe two of them, like the two mercenaries, might be a cool plug and play as like a fourth and fifth on a Balen team.
Maybe. We just don't know yet, do we?
Yeah, we just don't know what they're going to be like. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the mercenaries kits are like, to see if I can, sort of just ignore Omega for a little bit and just get the other ones as as is tradition.
Ignoring Omega is tradition. Yeah.
Yes, that is tradition around these parts, or not around your parts. Sorry, but
yes,
around the SWGoH parts, as it were. Yeah, I'm not super duper excited about the characters. We'll see what Crosshair ends up bringing. But I was saying like yesterday, we have so many fucking teams. We just have so many teams. Like, to try and like, oh, we need this new team because it beats this. Okay, I already have 3 other counters for that. Like, what I really need this team for? Like, what are they actually doing that I can't already do it? Like, I don't already have an answer for. So if maybe like, oh, she just goes and annihilates Ahsoka, then maybe I'll farm them up and everything. But
it's gonna be like the Datacron drops in like 2 seasons, and then they're gonna be like an A-tier team for 4 months, and then that's about it.
Yeah. And I'll still farm them. I've got nothing else to farm. But I'm just not dropping stacks and stacks of crystals.
Whoa, you've got so many characters to get the relics, man. Come on.
Yeah, I've got like 16 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Slacker.
Cast, I've only got 16 to go to Relic 8. That's my game plan, Cast.
60 to go to Relic 8, but yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough. 16, 60. What's the difference anyway? Okay, cool. So thank you for that, Trodat. Next up is from Jar Jar Binks. What are the best ships to beat Levy if you do not have Levy? There are a number of counters. Endurance and Negotiator, I would say, the most reliable ones right now if you're not going for a mirror match. Depends on the lineup, if it's a Houndstooth start or if it's a triple attacker start. Houndstooth is typically Endurance and triple attacker is Negotiator, but they use the same ships essentially. But there are a number of fleets that can beat it. How about you?
Well, the unfortunate part though is if your opponent is smart and they force out Cad Bane as the first reinforcement, Mace versus Houndstooth starting gets really dicey really fast. Especially if it's a decently relic investment bounty hunter team. So if you don't have it, basically, if you're this is Leviathan. Sorry, why was I thinking Executor?
Oh no, that's because I was spouting off about Endurance and started talking about Executor. Ignore me. That's my brain.
Okay, so Leviathan counter. Oh, okay.
Leviathan counter. It's you can win with triple attacker Executor, or you can win with Profundity if they don't force Scimitar as the only reinforcement, which you can still win even if they do, because you can bring your own Scimitar. But even that is still dependent on how many assists that you get called. If you get really shit on that and you can't do anything about it, then it's going to get rough. I know some people are doing like TIE Bomber and Scimitar on their Leviathans now to really mess up the quantity counter.
Or you can use Raven's Claw as well, but I prefer TIE Bomber because it works better versus Profundities. But if they do Leviathan with only Scimitar, then it gets easier for the Endurance to beat the Leviathan. But if they have a standard lineup, then you have a couple options. I think Profundity is still probably your better bet than going with the Executor triple attacker, because I think that relies on a lot more nuance. But I haven't run it in a long time, so I'm not sure. But yeah, you have options. Just nothing besides a mirror match is going to be 100%. Like, you're looking, most of these counters are like 70 to 85% win rates outside of a mirror match. So that's just going to be the boat you're stuck in without Leviathan, is that you're going to pray that your counter works that time. And there's a lot of nuance in fleets.
If you can get some ships out, and like if you can do the Profundity counter and then at least like destroy the enemy capital ship and then they kill you, then you can clean it up. If you can kill like the bomber or something like that, then you can sort of piece it apart after a little bit. Like you run a few other teams and still get them down. But yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah,
Honest to
it's
God,
a
I'm
weird
like,
place right now. So
I really want another fleet before we get another GL, but I'm pretty sure we'll get another GL before we get another fleet. So
I want a new fleet. Damn it, a fleet would be nice.
hey, I need to waste 2 vaults of crystals. Let's go.
Yeah, you can give them to me.
Yeah.
I'll take them. It's fine. I'll take them off your hands, buddy. Don't worry.
Listen, you're not in my guild anymore, so I can't. Just
Whose
give you
fault is
crystals.
that, Karth? You keep leaving my guild.
Easy. It's Night Fox. We've established this. It's all his fault.
He's the common denominator. Yeah, bastard.
Yes.
Oh well. Okay.
Next question.
Next question. Whose are the options for each variations of the survey mixes?
What?
That's
The
Casey
survey
Londa's
that
question.
I was just talking about.
Oh, I didn't
Who's on first?
I didn't partake on it. Yes. So,
There's what were the combinations you chose is what they're asking.
yeah, I didn't do
Oh.
the survey, so
Neither did I.
Oh.
Oops.
I have to go through and find it real quick. It's not that hard.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Player survey, visit site. All right. It asks 2 questions. It says, and of course I've already responded, so I can't open
You
it.
can't see. Yeah, of course.
No idea.
Here, let me-
I didn't do it.
I'll just put it real quick in the group chat for you guys if you want to pull it up real fast. But it's literally just what faction and what role did you pick is what they're asking. I picked mercenary healer support because I really want them to have some way to just keep the team alive when things are getting dicey, especially since Balen doesn't have anything that reduces % health effects. That's where I went with it, but that's my answer.
There we go.
But that's
Yeah.
what you guys.
Yeah, mercenary healer support is what I did as well, because Balen doesn't need another tank. He's a tank himself, and that team does not need more attackers because
Yeah.
there's
No.
plenty of damage output there. So,
I can get down with that.
good.
Checks out.
All right.
It's
Next
not a
question.
cold, sir, but it checks out. The
So many
next
more to
question
go.
is from Short Ass, which is a great name. It's a great name. What do we reckon the odds are on a Bad Batch Lightspeed bundle to encourage people to wail on the new tunes in town?
None. 0.
I reckon the odds of a Bad Batch
0%.
Lightspeed bundle coming out sometime in the near future are probably quite high, but probably nothing to do with the new Bad Batch in general.
Old
I
Bad
just think
Batch,
there is-
obviously, yeah.
I
There's
think
no
that's
overlap.
more of a coincidence more than anything. I reckon they might use it as an excuse. I think it will happen eventually because eventually CG's going to run out of things to create Lightspeed bundles for. They're going to keep making them.
No,
So,
no, they're going to keep making them, but I think what they're going to start doing is treading old ground, and just creating Lightspeed bundles that already have other characters in them, but they just do something different.
yeah.
Do like
so-
thematic Lightspeed bundles of different of like individual 5-man teams, and then
like the Bad Batch?
you just buy. Yeah,
I
there's
think
that
they
one.
might run into trouble if they break. I think they might start running into trouble if they break it up too much like that, and you have too many overlapping things. Because you gotta sit there like, oh wait, no, I got this character from this Lightspeed bundle, and then this one from this bundle, and so I'm gonna skip this one, but this one's not worth this. I think they might start running into problems over there.
Yeah, it
If it's just
depends,
like-
but
Or just double charging you for extra shit that you already have. It's like, okay, come on, guys. Like,
I mean,
no.
I mean
realistically,
they've done that forever. Like that's always been a thing.
I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna check the bottom of my roster and I'm gonna be like, CG, I really need a Lightspeed bundle that's got I'm a Gundai, Probe Droid, IG-86, Ugnaught, Jedi Knight Guardian, Consular, Clone Wars Chewie, Hoth Rebel Soldier, Bodhi Rook, Snowtrooper, and Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. Give me that pack for a tenner and I'll be a happy guy.
Yeah.
Some of
Cool.
those have
Perfect.
come out in Lightspeed bundles though.
They
should
have.
buy them.
Probe Droid definitely did. I don't know if anybody else did out of that set.
I believe Jedi Consular was part of the. No.
was
that
it the
that
negotiator
East
pack or something?
No, I think it was. I think it was the Jedi bundle for the raid, but I think that was East Cost was the 5th.
Yeah, because I got that pack. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's if CG ever asks me what Lightspeed bundle should we produce, I'm going to say that one. just so that I can have something to benefit from.
I want one with Poggle, Talia, Magma Trooper, Nestor.
Oh my god!
I pulled the Magma
They have
Trooper
one, yeah.
Datacron, so
Yeah.
I just relic 5'd him immediately. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna
nice.
do this.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I did
wouldn't
not.
say that it's impossible. We might see something Bad Batch related around the May the 4th release, because that'll be what, 3 years since Lord Vader went, or 4 years since Lord Vader was went live. 3 years.
Yeah, that should
3
be
years.
fair. Something like that, right?
So
Sounds about right.
they might do something for him on the next
Yeah,
one. I
that's
think him and JMK are a couple of the next GLs to get Lightspeed bundles. So it's possible. But I don't think we'll see any new Lightspeed bundles until probably May the 4th.
Yeah. Okay. Next question then. Boom TTFN, which is Tatar for now, asks, Kiss, Marry, Kill, each individual member of the Great Mothers. I don't know their names. Could I not? I mean, as much as I'd love to tongue an old lady, I mean, you marry one, you marry all of them, right?
But listen, if you kill the Great Mothers, they just come back. So,
And then they're going to be
They're
pissed.
after all.
They prevent revives, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the kit, yeah.
That's good. That's good. I like it. Is it like being in a Mormon relationship though? Do they come as a triplet? Like, if I marry one, do I have to marry all of them?
Are you well, I'm assuming the question is that you don't.
You'd be
kiss
breaking them
one,
up.
marry one, you kill the other.
Well, the reason I ask is I was hoping that I could just kill all of them after I marry them, so that I could, get half their assets. They're old as fuck, right? They must have loads of money.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I want half of Peridia, please. Okay, thank you.
Some prime real estate right there.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, all of their assets are dead Night Sisters. So
playing it, and clearly something to do with the
Mortis gods.
Celestials. So winning.
something.
Hashtag winning.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know their names, so I'm gonna go with I'll kill one, marry one, and kiss the other. But that's what I've got.
Yeah, I don't know what their names are. I know they gave them names, but we're just gonna pick
And
that
they're
one,
Greek
that
names
one,
as
and
well,
that one.
Wolf. So, I mean...
Yeah,
I
right.
can't be bothered to Google right now.
So yeah, those are our responses. Boom, ta-ta for now. So Tosh asks, I would like to
Incredibly
hear your
unsatisfying.
opinion.
I know.
We are. I mean, we were talking about marriage and ourselves. It's going to be unsatisfying. Tosh would love to hear our opinion on the raid topic. With the announcement of the Naboo raid adjustments and the knowledge that a Bad Batch event has been cancelled, will the raid stay longer than expected? What themes do you expect to see for a new raid? Yeah, I think we're probably in it for the long haul on this one, guys.
Yeah.
Like, the sad
For
truth
6
is-
months.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think we know right now that they have said that the Bad Batch would not be required for anything.
Yeah.
Which means if we were doing a new raid, they would want to at least do a new faction, which means odds are if they don't do a new faction, we could see something in April, May, and tie in with Ahsoka, or they drop the new faction for the raid starting in April, and then by summer we have the new raid. One of the two, but I think it's going to be April will be the earliest onset that we could see the possibility of a new raid, and then more likely is in my head is that it's going to be summer.
Yeah.
It's just
So long as
frustrating. We
they-
don't have any. We just don't have any like freaking information yet. That's just
No
Nothing.
indications, nothing.
You know,
I was hoping we'd
yeah.
get something with GL Ahsoka, but nothing happened.
Well, and that's the thing too is that they were like, oh, raids are going to be X amount of time, available for X amount of time, and the first two raids didn't even meet the minimum that they stated when they put that post out, and this one's probably going to run way longer than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever. Yeah, I'm not really upset by it. I'm okay with it.
Unless they've really had the home team working diligently on just the raid behind the scenes, and it's basically ready to go.
Now,
No.
if the new changes actually do make it more palatable, because realistically, they they do seem like it's going to make it a little bit easier. They won't be able to dispel you on the first turn.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
The droid won't be able to give himself bonus turns. So if he's solo, he won't be just trading turns with you anymore. It won't be just
Which
bonus
is
turning
great.
himself.
Things are going to be a lot
Yes.
more reliable, I'm sure.
So it should hopefully be a lot smoother. They gave you a counter to
Well-
see what his cooldowns are like. Yes, they reduced the cooldowns on it, but he won't be able to start it off and use the dispel. So it'll
Well,
change your
yeah.
strategies.
Mhm.
So you got to make new videos, Scribe.
Oh, I will. I'll
mean-
redo all my raid guide videos with new.
I mean,
new-
Lumi gets way easier.
Queen Amidala gets
Um,
easier, to be honest.
Queen Amidala gets way easier because now you can literally have Queen Amidala move before everybody and not worry about losing. So then you get those additional
Yeah.
stacks of
Yeah,
the
you
hots
get,
over
you,
before.
you get the extra heal over times. There's no chance now of you going into a wave using Qui-Gon's second ability and then having your advantage stripped by the commander
Yeah.
droid immediately afterwards. So you should, if the enemy's got charge, you should be able to use Qui-Gon Jinn's second special. Anakin will assist. Enemy will take a bonus turn, do an
Obi-Wan.
AoE, hit Obi-Wan. Hit Master Qui-Gon Jinn. That will pass advantage to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan will clear the field. Like, that should always happen now. So charge is actually quite a useful modifier for the Padawan Obi-Wan team.
Yeah. It'll be much more consistent for that. It'll be easier for Keller and Beck and things like that because you won't get stuck
gotcha.
with them
The Kit
looping
Fisto
as
team,
hard.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lunar
yeah.
team's going to be so much easier. So it
yeah.
it should definitely be better, 100%. So, but I mean, I think at this point everybody's already sick to the back teeth of the raid, and it's only been like 5 months. So if we've got another,
Well,
if we're not even
yeah.
halfway there, it's like, oh no.
Well, like Essex said, it's pretty fucking boring. So
Yeah.
well, we'll see how
If
it goes.
if you could cut the time down a little bit on it, then it would be fine. And I think if you get everything down to like a one attempt run, it's going to be
Yeah.
more palatable. But yeah, there are people who are complaining about, Maul not having the stealth dispel, so he doesn't get the advantage, which means he's not going to crit, or it's going to be harder to crit.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that's going to be one thing to overcome. But I think if 3 runs get better at the sacrifice of 1 being a little bit more challenging, then
And we'll see how it plays out.
I'm okay
you know?
with it. Yeah, and it may not change that much. Some of those runs might be salvaged or fine without it. So.
You may have 2 waves over, 2 rounds over there, and then the B1 does his the commander droid does his dispel. You get your stealth and all that bullshit, and then you go to the next wave after Sidious gets the kills. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see how it ends up playing out, but it'll be of course we'll have to we're just sort of guessing.
And
We'll have to actually see.
I don't think that there's much point in us jumping down the throat of a theme of the new raid because we know nothing about what could happen.
Yeah,
So-
the only inclination we might have is that they might still tie something in from Peridia.
I still
But that's
or
it.
they might go
Ahsoka.
Revenge of the Sith. They might do something with that.
Yeah, they might.
Do you
Yeah,
still
they
think-
might.
I still think it has to include the latest GL, so like Ahsoka has to be a featured unit because that's
I would
just
like
what they
that.
always do.
I'd like
Right.
that because I've got
I mean-
heavy investment in that team.
They don't have to be. It would be nice if it was, though.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask
So-
CG very nicely.
Inspectors be a part of the next raid, please and thank you. I have the whole
Yes.
team at Relic 9.
Yes.
Also, can we make sure that they auto it?
Garthrick.
And can we also request that Imperial Remnant become a faction and the Zombie Bros, just so I've got another excuse to R9 that team.
Yeah, right.
'Cause They're still stuck at R7 because I just don't want to pull the trigger on the R9s because there's 3 of them
right
and
there with you.
I just, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, next
Mine is still
question.
at 7 too.
So Topaz asks, what do we think the next 3 eras will be this year after Bad Batch? I think after Bad Batch we have to be something to do with Revenge of the Sith. I think it has to go there.
Yeah.
Just
I
because of the
disagree.
timing. Okay, disagree away. What do you think?
I
Steve
don't-
Duff?
Instead, I have no idea, to be honest
Oh.
with you. We're kind of caught up on show content that they can pull from.
Well,
There's nothing.
Is the Acolyte a meme to you?
Oh my God.
Yes, yes, it is.
Me too.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
So I don't know where they're gonna go with that. we're because we're all kind of got caught up. We're not really into Andor season 2 yet, so I don't really think they're going to try to bring anything really out from there. I think they kind of, I hope they go off in left field a little bit, and we go do some Old Republic or some of the older video games. We bring some of those characters in, and we just kind of dick around for a little while until we wait for new content to show up. Because I really don't want to keep following the shows that are releasing. But I mean, I was talking about this yesterday, and it's just like the Revenge of the Sith, unless they do like a a conquest unit for like Chancellor Palpatine or something like that, or something like that. There is not a lot of ground left to tread from that era that is going to be unique, different, or meaningfully impact anything that's going on. So I mean, I'm open to the option, and it's all still a possibility depending on what they want to do. I mean, Lord Vader could use an actual lifter. Chancellor Palpatine could be a fun way to go about that.
Queen Amidala could use her actual bodyguards. Yeah.
I'm surprised Karth wasn't thinking about some clone commandos.
I mean, I want them, but they're not part of Revenge of the Sith, so that's not going to be. That would be unrelated. I would love to have Delta Squad, but
it's the era. Yeah, it's not just like specifically Revenge of the Sith related, but I mean, it's still in the era of the Clone Wars.
I think we'll get vehicles, and we'll get those little floaty pads that Anakin and Obi-Wan fought on.
We get vehicles. We get vehicles, and then we get mods for ships. And we get Datacrons for ships.
And Omicrons for fleet, yeah.
Yeah, and Omicrons for fleet. And that's what we get.
Scribe is definitely on the right lines over there. We get the the lava planet things. We'll have Anakin on one. We'll have Kenobi on the other. We'll make an entire fleet of just Jedi in space. Ahsoka on her ship.
On top of her ship,
on top of her ship. Yes. So just Jedi.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Jedi
characters on top of vehicles. That'll be the new
genuinely, Wolfie. I thought when you started talking about Anakin and Vader and Kenobi on top of the floaty lava platform things, I thought you were going to go down we're going to get a whole new game mode, and it's going to be like Mario Kart.
Oh my god!
Oh, Frogger. We get Frogger on Mustafar. Come on, let's go. I am here for
Musta
it.
Frogger.
Yeah.
I'm there for it. Yeah, let's make it happen. CG, you don't need an ideas team. We're your ideas team, buddy. We're your ideas team. It will sell like hotcakes. It'll be great.
Just for the memes.
It'll sell like flapjacks, right?
Hang on, we talking about pancakes here or oatcakes or
Oh God. All right.
So,
anyways, moving on.
I think it will still be. I think we'll get something to do with Revenge of the Sith, and I'm hoping that the end of the year is going to be Skeleton Crew, because I want SM-33 and I want Jod.
Yeah.
I just want.
I have a hard time. Imagining that they're gonna go down that road.
And we've got a ship, and it could be a ship that transforms. # no spoilers.
Hey, finally, time to bring in pirates. It's been a long time
pirate
coming.
faction. Let's go.
I'm for it.
Yep.
We'll get a dark side Mondo.
There was the crossover pirate between the Mando season 3 and the Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
The Bane or what is it? Something like that.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I could absolutely bring in some pirates. This could be the time.
Why not?
Absolutely.
New fleet with Skeleton Crew. Pirate fleet.
Yeah. B-Wings.
One. Yep.
GG get wrecked. Oh God, I'd love it. Those B-Wings stuff come in.
Right.
All right. We're gonna get sidetracked too quickly, and they ask about Skeleton Crew again later. So let's get to the next one.
So Grogu says there has been no new PvE content for the Ahsoka content. The Bad Batch era event has been paused. I don't think it was paused. I think it was canned due to bandwidth issues. As in, it's not paused. It's never coming. At least that's what the wording sounded like.
They shelved it. Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't have time to release it.
What do you think about the possibility of a new TB? 0% chance.
Zero chance. Zero chance.
We're not even close to finishing this current TB. And even the top end of the game aren't even close.
Well, not even that. Dial it all the way back to to the original release of the game mode, their entire point of releasing the TB like this was to just add on to it and
Yes.
not rebuild a new one.
That's
So
why they're
it's
adding
like
extra planets.
Yeah, so,
So-
it's like I don't see them ever. They might change the name and maybe drop some planets at some point, but
I think they might go
that-
through different
as
eras
in-
eventually, but I just don't think it's now.
Yeah, I don't think that's either. But that was
So
the only
we
thing I
have-
could see is they change the name and they drop out some of the planets so that the board doesn't get too cluttered, and then we move on from there.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I was going to say to what Scribe was saying, to like a different era, this is the rise of the Empire.
Yeah. It's
know,
a specific
TB. So they
point in
could
time,
give us
right?
another era, which could be the next TB. I'm not saying anytime soon. I'm talking, several years down the line once
Yeah.
they've, this has been
Because they could do
used
the
and
OT, they
abused,
could do
but-
the sequels, they could go back in time. they
All
could
of
do
the New Republic. Let's
you know?
let's go. Let's watch the First Order take out the New Republic. For
Okay, I
kicks and
take it.
giggles.
I take it back. Ignore everything I said. Just don't stay with this one.
All right.
Okay, so next
Evo's
question
got a
comes
question
from
for us.
Evo. Yeah. We all know there are a number of bugs with GL Ahsoka, but no official mention of any of them. Thoughts? We have kind of touched on this already in the
We
discussion.
Yes.
covered this.
Yes.
It's in like we said. Honest to God, I think they're not bringing it up solely for the fact that they're waiting for Ezra to release before they address it.
You mean
Because I think
Dark Side Vision Ray to release?
Dark Side.
yeah,
Right,
sorry, Darkseid Ray, to release to address it. Because I think at that junction, it's going to be a viable counter against it. People are going to have more options to get her, and I think Leia becomes much more challenging to win consistently, especially as at a GAC.
Yeah.
Once Ezra's kit functions properly.
Yeah. Agreed. And I'm hoping they do
real
address
quick.
it. Mhm.
Yeah. So real quick, just to the last comment of what Boba Fett was saying, they said they pigeonholed themselves with the era. They are giving themselves a good amount of leeway to do other
are.
things, like Bomando, DTMG. That is after the rise of the Empire, like very specifically after that time frame. But they're still just sort of push this in. Yeah, it'll be okay. That's sort of like that counts, right? That counts.
Yeah.
Counts.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
close enough.
they're using the characters thematically though, because like Moff Gideon, not necessarily Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, but Moff Gideon was the one who orchestrated the fall of Mandalore after the rise of the Empire. Bo-Katan
but like
was the ruler of Mandalore during that time.
I'm
Like
saying
it's
the fight
still
that you do.
thematic.
The fight that you do
Yeah.
over there is against DTMG. So I'm,
I might not
No,
have done that battle. I've done the
Yeah,
one against
the
OG
top-
You talking about
Gideon.
you talking about the R9 Bo-Katan
the one
mission?
the one on Mandalore where like there's
Yeah,
three
yeah.
missions. The top one. I can only ever do the top one because the other ones I don't have.
Oh,
a relic,
you
I don't
fight.
have a high enough
That's
relic.
not deep.
You fight
That's
DTMG.
OG.
No, it's OG
That's
Gideon.
OG.
that is. Yeah.
That's OG.
Yeah, he's not wearing
No,
that
The
they
helmet.
were-
second one?
Yeah. There's a mission that
Really?
requires you to
Oh, is that-
use deep.
I
Yeah,
thought that was
DTMG, but-
DTMG.
There's one that requires you to use him, like full R8.
No, the upper one. I thought that mission you were fighting DTMG.
No, it's OG
I'll
Gideon.
go
No,
back
you
and
fight-
I'll go back and
It's-
check.
Yeah, it's
I was
OG
like
Moff
99%
Gideon.
sure it was
First wave.
DTMG, but I'll check. Okay.
First wave is
First
General
wave is
Veers.
Veers.
Second,
Yeah.
First wave is
second
Veers.
wave is
Okay.
second wave is
Gideon
I
with
thought they were
Dark
using
Trooper and
DTMG
Death
there.
Trooper and.
And then when you
Gotcha.
use Death Trooper or Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, you fight Maul Mandos Phase 1, Bo-Katan Mandos Phase 2.
Okay.
I have yet
Which-
to do
so
the Rough
that
9
doesn't
one,
make sense,
'cause
really.
two.
yeah.
But-
No.
Well, it's just the thematic like chain of successors of who's taking the dark saber, but that's
Yeah.
really it. Like that's all. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You're right.
Yeah. They're being a little bit loose with it, and I think that's okay. They are a little bit
Yeah.
pigeonholed in what they can do, but I think that there's plenty of content for them to draw from. So eventually, I
Yeah.
do think we'll move on to a different era, but I don't think that's coming anytime soon because there's
I-
no
I
point
think we
releasing
need to have,
content
like-
that nobody can finish.
Yeah. Look how many blank holes there are on the map, and that's how many planets they could add before we'd have to cycle anything out.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Still like a dozen planets to go.
Okay, let's move on then. So Roverwine says, "Here we go. Skeleton Crew, are you ready? Carthrick in particular. This is all on you, buddy. Have
No,
you
I still haven't
enjoyed,
watched it.
You haven't enjoyed... Karthrik has not enjoyed Skeleton Crew because he's not seen it. Do we expect a season 2? 100%. Watch numbers are low. Oh, that's a shame. But overall, the ones that have been watching it, extremely positive. Who's my favorite character?
So-
SM33, without a doubt. And what ship would I... Well, the ship. What do they call it? The
No idea.
something Cinder? I can't
Onyx
remember what it's
Cinder.
Onyx Cinder, that's it. Thanks, Wolfie. I'd like to see
So-
the Onyx Cinder and SM33.
If Disney is smart,
Smart.
they will see the pattern that is repeating from Andor. Skeleton Crew is is the second show now that they've released that viewership has gone up over time.
Mhm.
Versus every other thing they've released, viewership has trended down.
Yeah,
And the
Andor
thing is
viewership
that
went up over time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid
So
acolyte.
if they're smart, they will. Yeah, act like they're not. Act like it went down drastically after the first episode or two.
If
We
those
won't
wasn't
have the
6
numbers.
minutes.
We won't have the numbers for the final episodes for like a couple weeks because it takes a little they're like a little bit
Yeah.
lagging behind so we actually get the numbers. So we won't be able to see what the effect throughout the whole entirety of the season is, like how much it goes up.
Yeah, but if if Disney is smart, they'll look at the trend and they'll renew for a second season because I think that's the stuff that stays away from a lot of the iconic characters seems to be doing a lot better.
Mhm.
And then just stuff that focuses on good writing and not about proving points.
And I mean,
seems to do
Skeleton
better.
Crew is
So
very
let's-
good in my opinion. It was a really
Yeah.
enjoyable series, and I think it matured well. Like, there is a good character arc, plot arc for a lot of the characters throughout the entire thing. It is a bit kiddie, but it was well done, and I think that should be.
I think
rewarded.
Jod in particular,
Jod was
that
great.
character,
Fucking hell.
very very well done.
He's nuanced.
And I didn't want to go into spoilers at this
Yeah,
point.
no
I know it's still
spoilers.
pretty recent, no spoilers. But they like the finale and whatnot, like how he ends up. I think they treated that very well. So
Definitely.
I think they definitely did a good job with him in ways that they've fucking failed miserably with other characters. But again, not to get too much into spoiler territory this soon after the release.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Okay, so sorry, Wolfie, who would you like to see character and ship out of Skeleton Crew?
Oh, it's me and Judd. I mean, I need both of them. They're both amazing, and we have a new punch bot. This one is fucking pneumatic.
Yep.
And he just goes, boom, he's fucking wild. Love him. He's got like the glowy shields where he just goes and burns people. Like that was so
Yeah.
fucking badass.
He was such
Smee is gonna be amazing.
Cool fucking character. To
Yeah.
be fair.
And Judd would be another Ufu.
Like, yeah, he would be. He would be. Spoilers. I mean, not really, but yeah. I tell you what. When I was watching Skeleton Crew, even my early impressions of Smee or SM33 was he feels like a character straight out of a D&D campaign. It's like, one of the players around the table is just like, you know what? I'm going to play a Warforged pirate, and he's like a stereotypical pirate falling apart, and he cares about the code, and he's loyal to his captain, and it feels like that would be a fun guy to sit around a D&D table with and just have a good time, so I think they nailed it with him. It's just really good. Obviously not a completely serious character, but very, very fun. Okay, so the SWGoH elements of Rover's questions then. Out of the last DC set, which one do you find to have been the most fun or impactful? Wolf?
The last DC set or the current one?
Let's just go new set.
Okay, so the new set, I mean the Fulcrum one. The Fulcrum one has been fucking
it's a lot of fun.
insane. That one's been absolutely goddamn wild. Oh my god, the Fulcrum one. Fulcrum is just amazing, and just please. It's so good. Some of them are real letdowns, like the Tuscan one is like, why are we even bothering with this? Obviously there's like some really good standout ones, like with the Imp Troopers and everything, but the Fulcrum one, oh god. Fulcrum so good.
I really enjoy the Fulcrum one as well. I do quite enjoy the Magmacron. It is it's just a little bit finickety, I guess, because it's like it can fall apart if you don't get it set up correctly. But when it works, it's kind of fun. How about you, Karth? Any winners or losers?
I mean, it's kind of funny because the Rebel ones seem like a real letdown, because of just where they chose to draw the line on the characters and the mechanics in play.
Yeah.
Because they just don't have enough to really like meaningfully impact the power curve of the teams that are represented there. I think Imperial Troopers are kind of like the unsung heroes right now. A lot of people are looking at like the Ahsokas and they're really quite good. And the Ufu Crons themselves are quite powerful in a nutshell. But the Imperial Trooper ones, like there are fun things you can do with Magma Trooper. There are fun things you do with Range Trooper. There are fun things you do with Snow Trooper. Piet is like
Snow's
everyone wanted Piet,
reads
but
like he's infinite turn meter gains.
he is basically he's just a loop mechanic that's just ridiculous. And so like there's a lot of things in Imperial Trooper that's a lot of fun. But it's like Tuskens are just the bottom of the barrel, unfortunately, because they don't get anything that really kind of like they're mechanics that are fun, but there are so many counters out now to the Tuskens that it's not that hard to get around that anymore. So like being blinded isn't really going to bother enough of the counters because they'll either cleanse it or can just, their abilities can't be evaded anyways. And then they just go do what they want to go do. And so the Tuskens didn't quite get enough support on that one. I think their level 9 should have been more powerful. But the Rebel ones, I think, will be a little bit more impactful in 5. Just 3v3, they're not doing enough to for the teams to get up and running before you get wrecked or already you're going to destroy the opposing team.
Fair. What are we hoping for this year from SWGoH? Pick one mode, one character, one ship, one quality. No, that's too much, River. Will the new Omega be nerfed? Maybe. So yeah, okay. We'll say
next
one.
time, Roper.
we'll ask one thing out of everybody. What do you want? One thing from this year, and it could be anything.
Fix, like, do something with Grand Arena TW. Just something. Something. Mix it up. Just. Oh god.
I mean, I would take just TW, like fucking just put it in a blender and make a new one. That's better and good and fun. That's what I would take. I don't mind GAC, to be honest. I'm quite happy for that to just keep rolling as it is. I won't say no to improvements, but TW for me just needs to be completely redone from the ground up. How about you, Karth? One thing that you really like this year?
Delta Squad.
Delta Squad. Take all of your
I'll
money,
take Delta
right?
Squad. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
All right,
I will break the piggy bank.
There we go.
Iron Thatcher. Is Leia with Adrad and Jin the only viable counter to the double Omi Ahsoka TW team? I haven't fought it.
There are others, depending on the Ahsoka comp. But with that being said, win rates
All
suck.
proprietary, and he can't tell you.
No.
anything.
It's just win rates. I don't want to tell people a counter that has a 40% win rate. It's like I'm not going to go send somebody after trying to. And it's not just that it's a counter that works. It's a counter that requires like super specific Datacron, super specific modding situations. You have to win speed checks, and basically if your opponent mods their Hera any kind of decently quick, you'll never win it. So it's like it only works if Hera's under a certain threshold and your great different other characters are modded to the teeth, and you're committing a lot of resources to make it happen. So it's like there are things that do work outside of Leia, but you got to sell the farm to buy the 1 acre tract with maybe a diamond in it, and so it's like it's not worth your time. Is the best way to phrase all of that. So
just get Leia with Adrad and Jin.
Yeah. There's a couple of different cron options for Leia that will help. I think Leia with the bulk is the safest way to go now, though.
Mm-hmm.
The cron that allows them to deal the additional damage for fast alt on Leia is helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
But bulk is still better. It's only helpful if you have a relatively quick Leia team and you've got a lot of AoEs going on. Otherwise, you're better off with just that extra 60% health of protection, and then try to rake out as much damage as you can.
Yeah, fair. It's a good question though. I've not fought it. I don't think double ommied just yet, so I've not had to had to think about it. It sucks. I put it on defense.
If that Leia team is fast, which is sorry, the Ahsoka team is fast, especially with the plus 60, speed that Sabine's giving them.
Yeah.
Leia can be dead before anyone besides her takes a turn.
Yeah, fun times.
Because Sabine, when they lose XL, they get 300% offense for a turn. If she lines that up before they pump too much turn meter where she can't crit anymore, her crit, if she crits her AoE, she can wipe your board.
Nice.
Like it is gross. It is so gross to face that with certain.
I love it.
Just what the AI decided to choose to do. So.
Good question. All right, so our final question of the day, and we have overrun, so I do apologize. This comes from Essex Hammer, my boy. Why are the daily deals such bad value? I think he's talking about the Jawa scavenger daily deals.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm only being offered relic deals, adding up to what you typically get from the 100 crystal refreshes and cantina. It basically looks like double the cost of the refreshes you do over a couple of days. When will CG make the daily deals and other packs entice me more to spend more money? The value is in some of the stuff is just atrocious. It feels like a lucky dip. I can speak to this
personally because I have had this conversation multiple times with Meathead.
Okay.
It's something they are looking into, but just the way the current system works, it's harder to make that generate things that a player who has a lot of things.
Big roster, is it? So it's an endgame roster get worse deals, basically.
Get worse deals because it generates that off of what you're upgrading and doing. And so if all you're doing is upgrading marquees all the time, it's just going to keep giving you really piss poor options on some of that. Like I did not get any relic material bundles until I decided I was bored with the Ahsoka episode, and I slapped down like 9 R8s for kicks and giggles sake. And then all of a sudden, I started getting impulse detectors in my daily shipments. But then the second, once this new era started and I started doing the marquees and stuff again, it went back to the, here's some, Mark III Carbantes and some stun guns. I'm like, I have thousands of those.
Yeah, I'm getting gear
I'll
offers
never
right
get
now.
through.
I got gear offers right now in my daily deals. I was just checking because I was curious, and I normally will get like relic mats and signal data and that sort of stuff. But right now it's all just gear. I guess because they saw me upgrade Omega.
It's terrible.
I've brought it up and it's been passed along, but the issue is I can't really give them better advice or an answer to the question because I don't know how they generate that. If I knew that part of it, I could probably figure out a way to give them a better answer than just I don't like that this gives me nothing I want to spend my crystals on. But at the same time, I'm kind of okay with that because I don't need other temptations in this game. So
yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because sometimes when you get that one with like the 20 impulse detectors and then you get some good signal data and stuff like that, it's like that's nice. That's nice. I remember once when after I did like a massive spending spree and I burned through all my Zetas. I remember having like the 1600 crystal pack was selling me like 7 or 8 Zetas. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's really good. Because I had 0 Zetas in my account, and obviously it must do a check for something like that. I was like, 7 Zetas for fucking 1800 crystals or whatever it was, 1600? I was like, yes, I'll buy that.
That's a win. Yeah, that was a conversation I had with recently, which is like, I get that you guys like doing your Lightspeed bundles and giving these characters out relics, but you do realize that Zetas are such a pivotal part to a team's functionality that without them, they're just dead weight on a roster. It's like you guys want to start like, I don't know, just including some stuff like there's so many Zetas in the game. There's 384 Zetas in the game right now.
Something like that,
all of the Zetas.
It's gonna take any of the new players, mid-game players, like years of farming to get there. I'm like handing out like 6 for free seems like not a big expense. Like
No.
I,
Drop
I
in the
just,
water. Drop in
in
the
my
ocean.
head, yeah, my opinion of that just goes, the most disappointing experience to have in any hero collector game is to spend money on unlocking something and then have it fail miserably because you can't max the abilities out. You don't have the mod depth for some of that stuff. And it's like, yeah, maybe we make it a little bit more palatable for people to do that, give them an option, but we'll see. I don't know. It's interesting where CG's at, because I feel like over the years we've gotten better communication. They seem to be taking some feedback a little bit more positively, but it still seems like,
I
it's
think
like
their communication has been a lot better than it has been historically.
Yeah. It just feels like sometimes you're writing things on
Oh, yeah.
wish paper, setting it on fire, and then waiting for the signs and the stars to change to get an answer. But it is what it is. Not the end of the world.
Yeah. All right. On that bombshell, guys, we've gone through our questions. Welcome back, Tribe Talks. It's been. My life has been empty without you. I assume that we're going to be good to go for next Sunday as well, but we'll let you know through the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, jump on there anyway, you wonderful, wonderful people. And in 2 weeks' time, so not this week, coming next week, a week, Tuesday, should be getting Batcher into the game. I should be able to be doing a quiz and a giveaway for some Batcher shards. So if you're interested in that, swing around the stream. That will be around the time that the marquee goes live, maybe a little bit later, just for a little bit of fun, and maybe earn yourselves just, 30 to 50 Batcher shards, which could be nice. Free is good, right? Wolfie, Karth, it's been absolutely fabulous kicking us off again. Here's to a great, great 2025, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out and big
Pleasure
love.
as always.